Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. Welcome back to Venture Starters. Welcome. Everybody needs to be on mute. You'll hear that reminder many times. Everybody needs to be on mute. The only way we're going to be able to manage audiences this large is if you all will try to be on mute unless you are speaking. So there's going to be two places that you'll be speaking. The main stage, which is this room that I'm going to be moderating, and there's going to be the breakout rooms. And you'll need to think about muting in both places for a variety of reasons, which we'll talk about in a moment. So we're letting everybody in, and that's going to take us a moment. Wow, we're already up to 260 people in the room, and it's been 1 minute. Okay, well, we're probably again going to break another record, and you guys are absolutely amazing over and over again, week after week. You all keep showing up and making Venture Starters truly a phenomenon as a community. I want to thank all of you for your continued participation. I think we're really making headway, and a lot of the people who are attending are finding that there's great outcomes as a result of participating here. And I'm hoping that today, many of you will get to know people better than you've been able to meet them in the past. So we're going to open up the breakout rooms really early today. The way that I'd like to try, and again, for those of you who've been on this journey with me, this has been one experiment after another to try and make the community work the best it can. We've tried different start times, we've tried different formats, and we will have to continue to try this and that. But for today, what I'd like to do is we're going to go back to our formula of having at least 30 founder pitches in the main room that I moderate. And at the same time, I'm going to open up all the breakout rooms. So there will be a larger audience in the main room that I moderate, and I'm assuming it'll still have the largest audience, but there will be 50 breakout rooms. Now, we did have a gentleman who just sent me an email 5 or 10 minutes ago who said his wife is having a baby, so he will not be moderating the room for Africa, which was the room he wanted to moderate. So if anybody would like to volunteer for that room, and we also had somebody who was sick who was going to moderate the humanitarian room. So if there's any volunteers that would like to also participate as a moderator, those two rooms seem to have a need right now. It's also
Luke here. I might do that.
Perfect.
Luke's here, and I might do that. Yeah.
Thanks, Luke. If you could chip in that way, that would be great. Look, there's a lot of you volunteered to be moderators instantly as soon as I sent that email out last Friday. So it was sort of first come, first serve. Those of you who sent me emails saying you'd like to moderate, I want you to know I read all those emails. We have been so busy. I don't literally have the time to even respond and find places for all of you right now. What we're going to do in the future is have a sign-up sheet of some sort, so it'll take me out of having to try and figure out who should be in which room. Plus, I think the community should have a say in who's the moderators in this room. So over the next few weeks, as these rooms develop and they create some personalities and character and some regulars, you all should, as a group, sort of pick a moderator that you're all comfortable with, and the moderator should feel comfortable as well. So this is kind of a work in progress to try and figure out how best to make all of our breakout rooms work. And I appreciate all of your amazing participation and patience in that regard. So we are, let's see, I'm going to start my opening remarks here so we can get into the fun stuff, which is listening to all of you. We're up to 350 people already, so that is amazing. We did have, let me just say, we did have 1,000 people register. That's 2 weeks in a row. Not everybody shows up. That's one of the challenges when you give away something for free. Personally, I think there's enormous value being here, and we're trying to not charge. But the fact is, a lot of people register and then just don't show up, and I get it. Life is busy, and we're every week. But in the future, for those of you who do register and you know that you're not going to make it, will you please go to the Zoom email with the link there's a cancel button there, and cancel your registration so somebody else can get in the door.
We are on a
But we had to do
meeting.
that. Well, sorry about that background noise. Everybody, please look to make sure you're on mute. Really important when we have a room that's this size. So the other thing is as a workaround, we have created a link that today says Venture Starters is your name, and it's essentially for people who didn't register on early and missed the 1,000 registration slots and are essentially all coming in the end under the name Venture Starters. Please look for the 3 dots on your image. Click those 3 dots and go to the rename. And then at that, and then put your real name there. And for the rest of you, I would suggest you also do the same thing and add your email address after your real name. That way you can get maximum exposure here at a networking event. And we do replay this event on YouTube. And a lot of our international audience finds us this way. And you never know who might reach out to you through YouTube replays. The last event actually has had over 8,000 views, which really was amazing because I didn't even get it up until I think Saturday or Friday. So this community just keeps surprising us in truly positive ways. So let me just now jump into the opening remarks so we can get to the 30 founders that are going to pitch on the main stage and open up the 50 breakout rooms. And I do have one guest tonight. I do need to make sure Helene is here. Can you check and make sure she's there? I do have one guest I'm going to introduce. There's a special guest that'll give us the first founders pitch for the evening. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Mark November. My last name really is November. It's not a stage name. And if you'd like to learn more about me, you can go to LinkedIn and actually see my profile. I don't want to take any time talking about me. I want to only focus on all of you. Again, happy 2023. We're going to have an amazing year as a community. To all the volunteers, thank you so much for volunteering. And for those of you who have offered to volunteer and I didn't put you in a slot, thank you so much. I want you to participate. It was not a slight, and it had nothing to do with you. So we got overwhelmed with too many people emailing in, and we have a small staff. Everybody needs to stay on mute. Again, that's so critical. We had a situation last week that I heard about that sounded painful. There was a breakout room where somebody had been using 2 devices at the same time, and one device wasn't on mute. It was in the breakout room, and then they were in the main room, and my voice was talking to a bunch of people, and it ended up drowning out the breakout room, and the people in the breakout room couldn't even figure out how to reach that person because that person had left the room and just was keeping a device open. So if you're planning on doing 2 or more devices tonight, make sure you're managing your mute properly, because I don't want to have that kind of a complaint again. Please be responsible, because this event only works when everybody's on mute except for the person that's talking. And with regard to the breakout rooms, please try and respect those fellow people that are in the breakout room with you. Try and only talk for 2 minutes and give an introduction. And for the moderators, all I want you to do, I don't want you to be like heavy-handed police and putting you in a position where you don't have good relationships with everybody in your room. You really just need to nudge people when they're talking more than 2 minutes and let everybody in the room have a chance to have a say. That's really all this is. And then you'll know how to manage the room once everybody who is in the room has a chance to talk. It's really the frustration of arriving and wanting to participate and then hearing and being drowned out by a couple of conversations that are going way too long, way too aggressive. So just make sure everybody has a chance to talk. We now have 11 rooms that are breakout rooms that I'm calling open mic rooms, or OM in the case where I couldn't fit all the words into the breakout room list, which you'll see shortly. Those open mic rooms are where our founders on the main stage can literally say after their presentation, meet me in the Star Wars room, or meet me in the Star Trek room. I've got a whole bunch of fancy, fantasy names. So, that's a place where hopefully there's less people. You might even get a one-on-one. And for those of you in the other breakout rooms, you might just suggest to somebody that where you're having a longer conversation, meet me in one of those rooms. They're sort of designed to be a catch-all for everybody. I've now paid for a license to actually be able to do up to 100 breakout rooms. This is getting to be a very expensive hobby, I will say, but I'm hoping it'll turn into something great for all of you. With regard to how we operate, the raise hand is the way we keep order, and at least on the main stage that I'm moderating, I can already see that we have enough people that have raised hands that'll probably last for the evening. For those of you that come to a future event, look for the reaction button, and then there's the hand raise that you can click on, and that's essentially how you get into the Zoom queue. And we'll try and get as many people in as we can tonight, but I see already 42 are signed up for this evening, and we'll see how we can how well we can do that. The rules of our event are really simple. Just be nice, play nice. It's all I ask. And also I want to point out that with this many people that are now part of our community, 425 people I see in the room now. Wow. Amazing. There's going to be some bad apples. I'm sorry, but statistically, I just feel that. I have this theory that there's always the 1 in 100 rule, where there's one person out of 100 that you always have to worry about, sometimes more, or there's 1 in 100 that you need to go and find to join your startup team who knows the right person. It's the 1 in 100 sort of philosophy. So if we have this many people here, there's probably a few bad apples. So that said, there's 99% of us who are probably fantastic, good apples, and it's the reason to be here, but be cautious. When people are pitching you and they're offering things to you, I don't know everybody here, and anybody who uses my name and says I know them doesn't mean I know that they're the good apples or the bad apples. A lot of people know me. So just be cautious about that. I want to thank all of you for signing up to be followers of our LinkedIn page. We now are over 7,000. That just happened yesterday. Yay, amazing, in 5 months. We have over 3,000 people who have subscribed to the daily newsletter, which you can also subscribe to if you go to the Venture Starters LinkedIn page. We hold this event every Wednesday, except for holidays. I think it's really important in order to grow a community like this that's focused on startups and early stage companies that we meet regularly. So for those of you who can, fantastic. You're kind of like the foundation that we build this amazingness on. And if you can't, I get it. But the more of you who can keep coming back and supporting this community, I would appreciate it. And I think it'll make us all more successful better. I am going to try and start a fund this year. I'm temporarily calling it the Wednesday Fund or Wednesday Ventures, but haven't yet found the pathway to a large pool of money which can be used to invest in the Venture Starter founders, at least selectively, that we find make a lot of sense to be investing in. I've personally invested in a few companies that have pitched here, but I'm not in a position to invest in all of you, and there is so much truly talented people in our community that we need a fund. So if any of you would like to talk to me about how to build that fund, I'm all ears, especially introductions to limited partners, and I do need a general partner. And for some of you who are in the room who I've already talked to, I'm interested in you still. It's just that I haven't had a chance to talk to everybody, and it's a process, and I'm still hunting to figure out what will make the most sense of that. If anybody wants to see the services that I offer to some startups, you can look it up at marknovember.com. I started that website 10 days ago, really just because all of you kept asking me if I could get involved in helping you. And it's just easier to send everybody there so they can kind of read what I do, what I could do for you. My main reason for being here, though, is as an investor and working with other investors. Sorry, let me mute again. Everybody, please stay on mute so we can have a fantastic event. Let's see. Okay, is Helene here? Did you see? Beautiful. So I have one introduction to make one person who's going to speak before we get into the rest of the event. About 3 or 4 weeks ago, I introduced Mark DiCarlo to all of you. He is the inventor at Rain Ions. I was the first investor in Rain Ions quite a while ago, and over a long period of time, this group that has come together to be Rain Ions has been creating magical results. So far, we have a lot of tests still to do. And now I want to introduce you to Helene, who is the CEO of the company. And she's going to be our first speaker tonight. And after Helene is completed, then I'm going to go with the regular queue, and we're going to open up the breakout rooms. And before Helene starts, I just want to, do you know if Justin is here? Did you see him? Fantastic. I just also want a quick little shout out. There is a breakout room that is space, satellites, and HAPS. And there's a gentleman in the room who will be moderating that, named Justin Selfridge. Justin is genius. I'm on his team. I'm an investor in his company. And what he's doing is going to give, in my opinion, SpaceX's Starlink a run for their money. And if anybody is interested in hearing about that, please go into the space room and talk to Justin. But first up is my favorite, Helene, who is going to talk about Rain Ions. So Helene, you can unmute and take center stage for a couple of minutes and present and give everybody a chance to get to know you.
Well, Mark, thank you very much for the opportunity. Great to meet everyone. Good evening. So my name is Hélène Chiviroz. I'm the technologist and business entrepreneur. So I got my Master of Engineering and doctoral degree in Double in France. I started to work at Motorola on leading edge semiconductor technology. I worked for 20 plus years with a lot of corporation, exploring multiple facets, technology, innovation at scale, business strategy, management. 6 years ago, I left and I created a consulting firm called We Grow Green Tech. My passion was to try to accelerate early stage innovation for green technology and climate. I worked with a huge amount of early stage company, fascinating space really. And 2 years ago, become the CEO of Rain Ions. So why Rain Ions? Well, I find Rain Ion technology to be fascinating in terms of science and business potential. So in terms of science, Rain Ions eliminates in a simple process air pollution and CO2 using a simple combination of advanced material, electrochemistry, and patented coated technology. So by leveraging mechanism of action naturally occurring in nature, we create a simple low-cost solution that removes pollution and CO2 from existing exhaust. So our technology as of today is, within 2 years, we were very busy, as Mark mentioned. It's fully patented, 3 prototype, 6 different third-party results ranging from 46 to 96% of CO2 removal, and 70 to 100% for NOx, for the people that are into air pollution. In terms of business potential, that's where it gets even more exciting, because technology can provide a huge cash flow to corporations that are relying on exhaust. So if you think about the ton of carbon, it's now being traded at $180 per ton. So if you look at this aspect, we're actually negative pricing territory and can offer huge profit to corporation. So our business model is IP and licensing. We currently have as of today, 3 letters of intent with large corporation, both in the energy and transportation space. We have 3 more coming. 2 of these corporations have already identified a pipeline of customers, manufacturing and R&D facilities. So as of today, we are fundraising for a safe note for 1.5 million. It's to cover operating costs until Q2, Q3 or to 2023, where we will be raising for a Series A round. So thank you very much for listening to my little pitch. I look forward. I'm going to be moving to the environmental and climate room. I really look forward to meet all of you there. And again, thank you for the opportunity. It's great to be there today.
And that's room 14 for those of you that want to meet Helene. Thank you very much, Helene. We're going to move on. And now I'm going to open up all of the breakout rooms. I hope some of you will stay on the main stage to see our amazing founders. We're going to experiment and see how all of this is going to work. Now, for those of you who have not been here before, on your screen somewhere is the breakout room. It's like 4 boxes that are stacked. And if it doesn't say breakout room, it might be an icon. And you'll be able to click that to be able to see them all. So here it goes. I'm going to open up right now. Hopefully you can begin to see those. Can somebody just, nod in your head that you're seeing them? Okay, good. Because this is new to me too. We're all learning as we go, so this is great that you're all helping me learn. So for those of you that would like to go to breakout rooms and are moderators, and for the moderators, if nobody shows up, please feel free to leave. And there's at least maybe one extra moderator in the group in case somebody needs to go to the bathroom or someone wants to roam. Let's see how this all works out. The main room will probably reduce down. We almost had 500 people in the room a moment ago before I opened the breakout rooms. I'm sure we're going to end up having over 500 people that will attend tonight, which is absolutely amazing to me because this is our biggest audience we've had, and every week it keeps getting bigger and bigger. So gives me great faith that you all keep coming back and keep telling other people to come back. We have a lot of great word of mouth going on. So now that we have a bunch of people moving into their rooms, I'm going to get started with our main stage. And up first is Rajiv, who we've had here many times before. So you're the perfect person to get us off to a good start. Take it away.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Hold on. Let me mute the room one more time. I still hear a few background noises, and I apologize, but please, everybody, try and remember to be on mute. Go ahead. You're gonna have to unmute yourself again.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mark, for this opportunity. I'll keep it super brief. As you can see in my Zoom background, we're assassins for hire. So if you want to delete anything from the internet, like bad press, bad reviews, scandal, anything like that, we can delete anything from anywhere. Success guaranteed or your money back. And on the flip side of that, if you want to globalize your brand or be seen everywhere your customers are looking for you, like Google, YouTube, Instagram, etc., we're the people that can make that happen for you. I'll keep my details in the chat and I'll keep it super brief. Thanks again, Mark.
Perfect. Thank you. And just for everybody's sanity, the way that I see the order of the hand raise, I see it in both the participant button, if you click on that, and also I have the gallery view that I'm using, not the speaker view. So if some of you think that you're out, that I may have missed you by one person, it might just be Zoom sending me a different roster than you're seeing in a different order. It doesn't mean I'm actually going to miss you.
Mark, quickly, I don't see the breakout rooms on my thing. I just see the regular pictures.
So do you see four boxes that are like an icon somewhere around the perimeter, the outside of the
Mark,
the bottom of the screen. You should be at the bottom of the screen. It's in breakout rooms.
You need to put your mouse outside of the windows and the tiles, then you'll see it. Sometimes Zoom makes that invisible. So if you put your mouse around the bottom of the screen, you'll see it.
It's between chat and reactions on the bottom, if that helps.
Exactly.
Go
It's the
full
bottom of the
screen.
There's also a possibility that if you have an old version of Zoom as your app, it doesn't have the breakout rooms on it. So there's a possibility if you may not have a modern version of Zoom, a current version.
Hey, real fast. I see the breakout rooms and I'm trying to click and join, but it won't even let me join the breakout rooms. It's like going through the motions of
Same problem.
Same.
Yeah, Mark.
Same.
I'm the moderator of the coaches.
Same.
room.
Same problem.
Oh, wow.
It doesn't like the
It's
Zoom.
happening with me also.
It's not letting me join 15 financial tech room, so it's not letting me join
The
there.
join room is not working.
Working in
Oh, wow.
my location.
Wow.
Yeah, but I see 24 members in Angel Investor and I want to join that room and it is not letting me. Mark, yeah.
And this is just after you paid for it.
Yeah,
I paid- I paid for a lot of things.
tested joining as well. It's not working.
You shouldn't have given him any money.
You need to ask
Well,
where it's from now.
interestingly, I do see a lot of people in the breakout rooms. Over 100 are, well over 100 are in the rooms right now.
Maybe there's a limit.
There's 25 that are in the angel investor room.
I've been trying to join that one just as a test and it's not working.
The environment room has 14.
Medical.
You try to join yourself, Mark.
Healthcare rooms have a lot. I'm not
Maybe if somebody
sure.
can get in there, we can find out their secret.
Shoot, I don't know what to say other than it's working for some, but it might be because of the Zoom app that you might have on your.
Are there external, Mark, this is Duran, are there external links to the room?
No, not that I know of. I'm actually completely unaware of that as an option.
Is there anyone here who's been in a room and came back to this group?
No, but I've got the latest of Zoom. I just upgraded. I still can't get in.
Maybe there's a limit. It could be a limit.
Yes.
Per room.
There is a limit based on the number of total attendees. There's a limit per breakout room. So based on the number of total attendees, you'll have limits per breakout room. So I had this happen on another call just last week.
So maybe
I
no
don't
one
think we
else
got
is
this
allowed
problem
to
last
join a
week.
breakup room?
So this is my first time and I'm kind of lost.
I'm trying to get in.
got out several
There's
times.
only one
I'm gonna
person.
try to join an empty one and see.
There's
I
also,
already
there's
tried
also,
joining.
Sounds
It's
like
just empty rooms, 3 of them that wouldn't let me in.
there's also an update for Zoom, ladies and gentlemen. I checked the app store. I don't know for Android, but there's an update for the app.
Yes,
I
I
didn't
updated as
know
well.
last week, guys, so this is not something related to.
One quick question. How long is the breakout rooms going to last tonight? I know they only lasted a short period of time.
I was going to keep them open until the end of the event. That was the experiment for tonight, was to do both the founder pitches and all the breakout rooms open at the same time. I'm not very technology expert on Zoom.
Savvy.
And I may need somebody who is to join me in the next few days to help me sort through this, because I'm not sure I'm going to be able to fix it on the fly. I see people in almost all the rooms now, except for, well, there are a few rooms that don't have anybody in them, but we do have a lot of people in the rooms.
Can you tell there may be a
No, I don't
Breakout
know.
rooms add to the final recording?
No, we don't have any recording of the breakout rooms according to Zoom. I only have a recording of my main room. That's another flaw. Although somebody in our community sent me a great email about a way of doing it and had an app, but it was way above my ability to figure out how to integrate that. Yes.
Yeah, Mark. So basically, if somebody in the breakout room is a moderator or is a co-moderator, then they can record it and the video will be in their Zoom account or in their local computer, after which they can then upload to YouTube if they have access to do so. So that would be the most seamless way of doing it, so that you don't need to do everything.
So here's what I'm thinking, just because, we've assembled many hundreds of people here. Maybe we'll just continue with the event like we normally do. And I apologize that the breakout rooms aren't working as well for all of you, but they are for some of you. So I think we'll just sort of keep it all going. And maybe in the next few days, somebody with more smarts about how to work with Zoom will join and guide me, and or I'll ask Zoom why this happened so I can learn how to fix it. I've been buying every license I can except for the one that they want $12,000 for, and I might need to look at the more expensive ones in order to accomplish what this community needs. We'll have to see where we're going.
Look here, Mark. Sorry for interrupting. Look here. Sorry for interrupting.
Yeah.
Just saying another option that could be a long-term option. Just saying that it could be a separate event, like 3 events or so. We can separate rooms per 3 events, let's say, or something like this, for 3 events for a week, and we can have a volunteer that can lead a separate event. That could be
Oh.
another part of the week. So
Somebody's
it's another
asking
idea.
for
Just
help. Oh, interesting. Okay, so
So let's parking lot that and let's go back to the main event.
yeah, there we go. I thank you,
Here,
Daniel.
here.
First of all, thank you for one thing I love about this community is there's a million smart people in it and we have lots of great ideas. But since we're sort of in the middle of this event, let's just keep on going on. But for 1 second, do you see on your screen this join breakout room? There's apparently something going on in the ag food room. Okay, sorry. All right, so that's another one of our challenges is how to deal with
They're throwing food.
challenges. Okay, Luke, maybe you can go to room 3 and find out what's going on if you're actually able to move around, or if any of you can. There apparently seems to be a problem, which I don't want to.
I'll try.
Okay, I'm going to mute everybody and we're going to start all over. Daniel is about to bring us back into our normal routine. Thank you all for hanging in there with us as we try and build this community. Up next is Daniel.
Hello.
No problem.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, so but I'm going to mute one more time because I still hear a few background noises. You're going to have to unmute Daniel to get back into the queue. Go ahead.
Well, thank you so much for hosting this, Mark. I'm Daniel Bolus. I'm the CEO of Club Health. Club Health is the modern platform for employee wellness. All you have to do as a company is set a monthly wellness stipend for your employees to use on Club Health. With that stipend, Club Health empowers your employees to choose diverse, high-impact health and wellness subscriptions in categories ranging from mental health, fitness, nutrition, family, financial wellness, and even pets. You can think of Club Health like an all-inclusive health club that is personalized by each employee based on their lifestyle, with a staggering 80% average engagement rate. That's huge compared to other employee wellness programs. Our unique subscription management service makes it seamless for employees to subscribe to recurring health and wellness products without having to manually re-enroll each month and without any frustrating reimbursement processes. Club Health has quickly become a coveted benefit in progressive companies. You can learn more about us at clubhealth.io. We also just opened up an angel round, so message me if you're interested in our service or interested in investing. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Daniel. Okay, up next is Lynn.
Hi, I'm Lynn Donaldson from Connect-A Strategic Solutions Group. We help you launch your products. Predominantly, we work in the life science industry, so pharmaceutical and medical devices industry, but we also help other companies. And we do that with 3 Ps: people, product, and process. The people side is coaching to stay at a peak performance while you're launching your product. Product is about launching the product and the strategy and then implementation. And then the process is we have a unique tool that will help you develop your strategy. It's a strategy integration builder, and it will help you develop the strategy and then run to that strategy. So you have everything all in one place. So we help you launch your product. If you've never launched a product before, come to us. We can help you launch that product effectively and efficiently. Lynn Donaldson from Connect-A Strategic Solutions Group. And it's wonderful to be here again, Mark. Nice to see you all.
And well done pitch. I have to say the first 2 pitches were great in terms of how long they were and succinct. And I just want to remind everybody, meet each other in the chat. If you haven't opened up the chat, you should open up the chat. And to those of you who have previously been spamming our chat by copying and pasting the same message over and over again, please do not do that tonight or we will have to remove you. That said, let's move on. Up next is Alan. And you're on mute again. I'm sorry, Alan, you're gonna have to unmute yourself to get going here.
Mark, once again, I just want to say thank you so much. You're doing such a great job for the entire globe by putting this information out there. Alan Brunton, founder, CEO of Symatrex. We take digital audio and make it healthier for the brain. Less stress, better wellness, more focused attention, better retention. Do you have people that are looking at video training tapes? We can clean that up so they will retain the information longer. Podcasts, music, we're right there. Also, we have trials out. Would love to be able to talk to anybody. I'll put the information in the chat. This is one of the biggest things because over 5 billion people listen to digital audio every day. We have the solution to make it healthy for everyone. Thanks, Mark.
Thank you, Alan. Up next is Ross.
Yeah, thanks, Mark. My name's Ross. I founded Keep It Indie. The goal of Keep It Indie is to support independent businesses and therefore the towns that rely on them through a customized customer and business marketplace app. At the core of it, 94% of people want to shop local, but 87% don't because of the lack of convenience. Independent local businesses, the ones that are small towns, the places that we think are unique and only to that place, have a hard time reaching well-intentioned local customers. So in short, think of the local coffee shop compared to Dunkin' Donuts. The Dunkin' app helps serve all Dunkin' locations. We aim to service all unique independent businesses. And we do this through our customized marketplace app. And one, it helps reduce cost of doing business. Two, acquire new customers. And three, expand their uses with current customers. We are specifically targeting small independent businesses in small towns, college towns, and mixed use areas. We've already seen a 20% market penetration in our first market. And we're now moving into targeting chambers of commerces. And we're looking for people for our seed stage to invest who share our passion for supporting local communities. So thank you, Mark.
Great, thanks, Ross. Up next is Blake.
Hi there, Mark. It's great to be here again. I'm basically wearing two hats here. My day job is working BD for a great company called QuarkXR, and we're still raising our late seed round, aiming for 1.5 million. We're getting very close to 1 million, and I'd be very happy to talk with any investors that are interested in the XR space. We're doing XR streaming, basically turning any standalone XR headset into a supercomputer. We've gotten a lot of interest, strong partnership with LG. But the second thing that I'd like to talk about is the fact that I'm here scouting for a bunch of other people, ranging from Techstars to SOSV to my corporate partners over at Honda, BYD, Renault, and a couple of other interesting companies. So if you're in a space that's relevant to mobility, please feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. I'd love to speak with you whether or not the breakout rooms are working. So I'm very glad to be here, and thank you again, Mark. I'll be in touch with you also about someone for the fund.
Awesome, Blake, you're wonderful. Up next is Billy.
Thanks, Mark, for allowing me to be here tonight. Just briefly, I turn failures into successes by removing my clients' obstacles and replacing them with highly creative yet effective branding and marketing strategies and campaigns, like I did for the International Association of Providers in AIDS Care, when I increased their membership base by 250% in 12 months. If you'd like me to increase your fishes and loaves, reach out. Contacts are in the chat. I'm Billy, AKA the savior of Sexy AF Creative Studios, where I'm making you paper on the way to meeting my maker. Thank you.
Oh, okay, thanks, Billy. Up next is Abad. I'm sorry.
Hey, Mark, it's Joseph. Thank you so much, and thank you for this platform. And I'm usually here wearing a couple hats as well. I'm usually talking about Zen Delivery, a cost fee reduction platform offered to restaurant owners. Tonight, I'm here talking about Dreamload. It's an official nonprofit where we essentially help entrepreneurs and startups kind of build and scale their dreams. Usually and historically, these entrepreneurs either don't have a team. We can offer a team a la carte, and if they don't have money, we can offer them some sort of equity or profit sharing agreement. Right now, we're in 11 countries, the African continent and the Middle East and the sub-Indian continent. So please connect with me. We're looking to grow, we're looking to build, and we're looking to collaborate. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you. Up next is John.
Hey, thanks, Mark. Mobile gaming is the hottest form of entertainment, with over $130 billion generated in revenue in 2022. That's more than the box office and music industry combined. The problem with mobile gaming is ineffective ad campaigns. The advertisements in mobile games are seen as a distraction and take the user off the page and away from the game. All users hate ads. However, this is not stopping the advertisers, as they still poured over $7 billion into these ads in 2022. My name is John Marrow. I'm the co-founder of WaveScore Games. where we develop games that feature our programmatic real-time advertising platform, enabling the direct integration of advertisers within the gaming experience in a non-disruptive manner. Essentially, our ads become part of the game. We have an array of products to address these problems. The team creating this were the builders of Halo and Roblox, two of the most financially successful games of all time. To date, we completed 3 tests. All 3 generated over 1 million active users within 5 months. In our last test, we were a top 1,000 site on global rank out of every site in the world. We are now ready to launch the game and the platform and are raising $1.2 million via a SAFE with a $12 million post-money cap to execute our launch strategy as development is 100% complete. Please feel free to contact me, reach out, John at WaveScore Games, and I put my number in the chat.
Thank you, John. We have another John Butler up next.
All right, thank you, Mark. Hi, I'm John Butler. I'm the CEO and founder of Quantum Sight. We're a health tech company located in Sunnyvale, California. About 20% of cancer patients that submit their biopsy for a standard clinical test that would give them information on how to treat their cancer, which drugs to take, which drugs not to take, do not benefit for that test. We looked at this problem. And actually solved this problem using our technology. We have an instrument and consumables that we sell into clinical labs and hospitals as well as into pharma. We actually have the instrument ready to ship. Last year was spent getting our first clinical validation data. We were successful in demonstrating the clinical utility of our system at Mayo Clinic as well as Singapore General Hospital in Singapore. Now, armed with that data, we're able to go out and raise money, and we're currently doing a safe note, raising $2 million with a $32 million post money. We have a lead, Shauna Sullivan Ventures in San Francisco. The use of funds will be used to build our sales team, to increase our revenues, as well as to get to a Series A Q3 of this year. We're already working with some VCs that have been tracking us for the last couple of years, and they signaled to us, get your clinical validation data and demonstrate that you can sell the system, and let's go do a Series A. My name is John Butler. I'm the CEO and founder of Quantum Sight. Thanks again, Mark.
Thank you, John. Meet others in the chat. By the way, we've just found out, I don't know if this is definitive or not, but it would appear that we have so many people here that it is impacting Zoom's system and our ability to do the breakout room. So I will have to contact Zoom to figure out as we get bigger and bigger how this will all work. So my apologies. Apparently that I didn't know anything about that. But anyways, we're going to move on. And there are over 100 people that are in the breakout room right now. So there is a lot of action there. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is Duran. Can I just say, it's really ideal that people utilize the chat, as Mark is saying, because as an investor myself, it's hard to know, like, for example, the last pitch, I'm highly interested in contacting him offline. It's hard to know who you all are if you're not posting in the chat immediately after you pitch. That's why I purchased my URL, durandavis.com, and just redirect it to my LinkedIn. So perhaps some of you all could do that in the future, because I really want to talk to you all, but you're not posting in the chat, and it's hard for me to know who you are. Thanks, Mark.
And I agree, as investors, we want it easy. Thank you for that comment. So for those of you who do pitch, go to the chat and let us know how to reach you so it's not difficult. And remember, we're about to then get focused on somebody else's pitch right after yours. So if you want to catch us when you're still hot and you're in our mind. Anyways, thank you for that comment. Let's move on. Daniel, you're up next.
Are you talking to me?
Daniel Summers.
There you go.
There we go.
Hi, Mark. Great job, by the way. I'm in Silicon Valley myself, and this is wonderful. I am the COO and CTO of iLightInnovations.com. We had spoke for the past couple of weeks, and actually, thank you for the email back. We just got our 29th and 30th patents issued 2 days ago, so I just wanted to come on and announce that and say we're still active in a Series A round. It's iLightInnovations.com. What we do is guided excimer laser trabeculostomy. And this takes a fiber optic laser and you put the tip up to the trabecular meshwork, and you can see through it from your OCT, the optical coherence tomography system that's built in, which is what we just got a patent on, the use of both of those to target Schlemm's canal through the trabecular meshwork in the eye. And we drilled channels, and it alleviates all of the IOP. The good thing is this has already been on market in Europe, ELT, an unguided version, which is very hard to use. You need a gonioscope to use it. But that's been on market. So we do have years of great data that we can use to launch GELT, which is all about usability. And it's all about getting surgeons that typically, like a cataract surgeon that is afraid to jump in and do a procedure in the eye, he will readily jump on this. It's as easy as playing Pac-Man. And if you remember back, think back for a second, how long did it take you to learn how to play Pac-Man? Somebody else's first quarter, just looking over their shoulder, and you know it. So we are launching a GELT CapEx excimer laser system, and it's going to follow the LASIK model, very much like the LASIK model. I was the head engineer that released the currently on market LASIK system from Vissix that's now J&J. So I have a lot of experience in this field, and it's eyelightinnovations.com. Just got our website up. So it's either Berlin at eyelightinnovations.com, D Summers at eyelightinnovations.com, or just go to the website and you can jump in through there and leave text and messages to us through the website. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mark.
Thank you, Daniel. And up next is Cody.
Oh. Hi, I'm Dr. Cody Garguzlu. At Imaginostics, we're focused on helping find a cure to aging and related diseases with breakthrough diagnostics. Every year in the US, over 40 million MRIs are performed in hospitals. And yet, for example, we still can't diagnose brain disease before the onset of symptoms. To top all that off, half of all MRIs use toxic gadolinium to enhance the signal from blood vessels. And despite this, images are still only useful for qualitative visual inspection. We've developed the next generation of quantitative medical imaging technology. And as a scientific founder, I've been working on this for over 10 years. Our patented approach, we have 6 patents now, delivers safer and 10 times better MRIs. And for the first time, we can quantify microvascular structure, function, and leakage to diagnose disease early and to accelerate drug development with these endpoints. Amazingly, this is a software that works with existing scanners and hardware. So we've teamed up with leading MRI manufacturers, academic hospitals, and clinical research organizations to translate and commercialize these technologies in the area of dementia, brain cancer, brain injury, autism, and kidney injury. Our first $1 million in pre-seed was raised by Clinical Angels. Last year, we raised $1.5 million non-dilutive government grants. Now we invite you angels to connect and discuss an opportunity to invest alongside the Alzheimer's Drug Discovery Foundation in this seed round. They came in at $725K. So thank you very much for your time and support. I will post my information now in the chat and try to get into the healthcare, the first healthcare room, but you can reach me by email. Thanks.
So it's thank you, Cody. It's a possibility that the way Zoom is treating us is only 100 people can be in the breakout rooms at the time right now, while our total audience remains well above 400. So it may turn out that it'll be easier to get in breakout rooms in 15-20 minutes if we have a few people who head off to dinner or do some run to the restroom or whatever. And so I don't know that we're going to be able to fix this tonight, but anyways,
Okay.
Thank you, Cody.
Well, please email me. Thanks.
Yeah, Gregory, you're up next.
Okay, thank you. I'll try and be as quickly as possible because I know the breakout rooms are really a pain. I try. Anyway, I'm sitting on top of the Holy Grail in water. I developed a system that is either you can use for your home or it can be municipal in size. It's 0 carbon footprint, net zero, and extremely low tech. And I know it's very, very a lot of people interested in it. I did a short video. I posted it on a YouTube page. With, so it's kind of a survival page. I had 1,700 viewers the first hour on that video. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm looking for a team. Basically, I'm just an inventor. That's as far as I've gotten. I have a prototype in action, Anyway, yeah, it puts out a steady stream out of a 2.5 foot square box of distilled water, and it doesn't hurt the ocean like you see behind me there. And that can actually be a freshwater source. So I'm going to go overhead and jump over, if I can, into either the Africa or the Angel Room. But you can get a hold of me at greg@realwaterindependence.com. My website is realwaterindependence.com. Thank you.
Gregory, I don't know. Did you send me anything yet? Do you recall?
I tried. I haven't gotten any response yet.
Oh, but you did send me something, right?
Yeah, I think I did on
you?
your LinkedIn.
Oh, good.
I'm gonna go to your website and I'll send you something.
Okay, I'm really interested, and you're the perfect example of what I'm trying to do here, which is somebody brings an idea that's disruptive and needs the right team. Oftentimes you all think that you have the right team right now, but if you're pitching total strangers at events like mine for money or customers or whatever, then you might need one or more people to join your team. And that's why networking is so critical. And there are people out there who with one phone call can get you unstuck, and you just need to meet that person. So hopefully that's what's going to happen here at Venture Starters. That's my whole goal, is get you all hooked up with the person who can move you along. So anyway, sorry to
thank you.
But let's move on to Susan. Hi, Susan.
Hi, Mark. Thank you so much for having me. It's my second time here. This is just a fabulous, energetic group. So my clients hire me to rescue their businesses from imminent collapse. So over the last 28 years, I've helped businesses double and triple their revenue. I am an outsourced CFO. I'm your CFO in your pocket. So I'm a business coach and advisor. And you are either creating a plan for success or you're planning to fail. And as an example, I worked with an architectural and design firm, international firm, that grew from 80 employees to 200 employees in 1 year. So needless to say, the systems went out the window. No accounting department head, no financial forecasting, no revenue flow, nothing. No cash flow, 8 million in receivables, couldn't get their hands on it. When they hired me, I got $1 million in cash received within 8 weeks because I put systems in place. I was in communication with their Fortune 500 clients. They were dealing with Sony, Disney, A-lister clients. And in the remaining months of that, excuse me, of that year, I brought in $5 million. So financial planning, forecast was established, and the CEO, needless to say, was thrilled. So I'm here to help. Everyone has great ideas. They're putting them out there. It's important to be supported and aligned with someone who's been there, done that, and who knows how to grow and structure and help you build your baby. My information is in the chat. I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you so much.
Sorry for the background noise. I'm going to mute everybody so that doesn't happen again. But thanks, Susan, for your presentation. And everybody try and keep your mutes. And it may turn out some of the people whose mutes are on are speakers, that when they're done speaking, don't go back on mute. We don't automatically put you on mute again. So you'll have to sort of do that on your own. Thank you, Susan. Up next is Sven.
Thanks, Mark. Just wanted to quickly say that last week was really outstanding. I made some great connections, one VC, one partner, and 2 users that onboarded that are really awesome. So thanks very much. Hi, everyone. I'm Sven Radovics. I'm the founder and CEO of InTribe. InTribe is a partnership marketing platform that you can think of as Tinder for brand partnerships and collaborations. With the impending death of the third-party tracking cookie, the PPC industry is going to face disruption at a category redefining level. Brand partnerships are the best alternatives to PPC advertising, so InTribe is well positioned to take advantage of what will be massive tailwinds. We expect to exceed 5,000 brands on the platform next year. We're currently raising a pre-seed round for 500K and have 100K committed so far. Would love to talk to anybody about investment, partnering with us. We definitely eat our own dog food at InTribe. And obviously, if anybody wants any help developing their partnerships, I'm happy to talk about that too. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much, Sven. And I love hearing when somebody comes to our event and gets connected to great people. So always love hearing that feedback. Up next is Donna. Did I get that? Dana. I'm so sorry. My apologies.
Sorry, the H is silent like in Spanish. I just dropped the link to my pitch deck in the chat just in case anybody wants to follow along. But I am Dana Small. I am the CEO and founder of Small World Big Dreamer. It's a social media management agency. So just a little bit about me. I got started in.
Gotta turn off that mute. Hit that mute button.
I'm sorry?
Is that your music in the background of your microphone or somebody else's?
Unfortunately, I'm in the lobby of a hotel right now.
Ah, it sounds like they have an event or something. Okay. All right. Well, go ahead.
But the way that I got started in the social media marketing industry was that I started off as a model in New York City. And then I went to school for marketing, and then eventually I just started my own company. So I did that like junior year of college. So I worked with a various number of startups and different small businesses around America, primarily in New York, Hawaii, Florida, so on and so forth. I have a couple of different packages for my company, starting at $2,999 a month, depending on what it is that you're looking for your business. I do different things on different platforms such as Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, podcasts, so on and so forth. And then I also do traveling as well. So I have all of my preferences in the link just added, but if you do want to schedule a coffee chat with me, I'll put that in the chat as well. And you guys can just reach me on my Calendly whenever you'd like. Initially, I was looking for an angel investor, but due to the new year, I'm also taking on new clients. So if anybody's interested in looking for social media management, I can definitely help out with that.
Thank you so much. We're going to move on. And next up is Charles.
Carlos, thank you, Mark.
Carlos, sorry. Oh,
Yeah, okay.
Elias? Okay, missed that. Okay.
Yeah. Hey, well, I'm Carlos. I'm the CEO and the founder of Lux. I'm here today with Fred, who is also part of the founding team of Lux. What is Lux? We are the only, and we want to stress, the only marketplace that is currently helping and transforming how customers buy off-market luxury goods. We all come from the luxury goods industry. We have more than probably 80 years combined experience, from startups to maisons of the big three group like Kering, LVMH, or Richmond. And what we are doing is helping not only the brands, but the brands, the customers, and the investors at the same time. Why? The brands are losing more than $48 billion in excess inventory every year. This is expected to increase to more than 70 by 2025. It's getting so bad that in Europe, it's starting to be illegal to destroy these goods. It's just a matter of time that it will be also illegal in the US. The resale platforms like RealReal, Vestiaire Collective, you name it, are facing counterfeiting issues. Customers are fleeing. They are seeing their stock plummeting, maybe like 80%, 90%, because of the huge OPEX that we do not have. The brands are seeing the stock in resellers, liquidators, gray market that are destroying the brand equity. So this is what we are solving with Lux.
Okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
We've been working with real brands, Site is Life, otherwise with national brands in the US. Happy to talk with investors and with brands that want to join us in this crusade, helping this industry. And we'll be on room 34, looking for someone that wants to help us in this venture.
I hope you can get to room 34. Good luck. But 100 people are in the breakout room still, so we still have some people getting there. Up next is James, who's representing one of my favorite startups. So please take a listen all.
Thank you, Mark. Great to be back. I'm James Lupino, co-founder of Risk AI. We are developing a computer chip to commercialize at scale a new method of AI training, which employs a new area of mathematics called interval arithmetic. This will make the time for data scientists to solve a problem very easy because we guarantee the optimal solution. We can find the global minimum for nonlinear optimization problems. Also, the output is explainable, something that's not available with today's methods of AI training. So we're trying to raise the first 10 million of 30 million to develop the chip. We're also have a software emulation system right now. So if you have a small model and would like us to work with you on training your model, please reach out to me. I'm going to put my information in the chat and then move over to the AI room. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you. Up next is Richard.
Hi there. My name is Richard Anderson and I'm CEO of Soundspace. Soundspace is an online platform and marketplace that connects creatives with the spaces that they need in order to create. We do that through a self-serve flat fee membership system. So effectively, we handle all of the administration and operations for creative spaces, from podcasting to rehearsal spaces to music studios. We connect them all on one big national network, and then you access it as an individual through a membership booking system on your phone. And it's just one flat fee every month, and effectively, that's the tech. Right now, we're in the middle of our seed round. We just grew from 1 space to 6 spaces in the last 6 months. We're on track to go to $1 million in annual recurring revenue here during Q1. So we're just trying to raise enough capital to support our quickly growing sales and marketing infrastructure. So I'm going to put my LinkedIn into the chat here, but super happy to talk with anybody in music and real estate or any angel investors or VCs.
It sounds great. Thank you, Richard. Up next is Ken, which I don't see your camera on either, Ken. There you go. Or there you go. Hello.
Hi, Mark. Thanks. My name is Ken, and I am with Custom Cottage Designs, Inc. We are located in Edmonton. And as of a week ago, we were planning on making a small pre-built home manufacturing facility. But as of a few days ago, I have recently become aware of the Canadian Mortgage Housing Association has a challenge that they have for home builders. And the challenge is because of the anticipated influx of new immigrants into Canada is so great that we realize we cannot keep up with home construction to meet the growing demands. So the Canadian Mortgage Housing Corporation has issued a challenge to home builders to come up with innovative new ways to build affordable, economically and environmentally friendly housing. It's a 3-stage challenge, and it's an elimination challenge. But at the end, there is $40 million in funding available for finalists. But our initial cottage designs were designed specifically to be built through automation. But due to the fact that there wasn't really enough demand for small structures like these to justify, you know, the outlay to automate a huge factory, we very much scaled back our designs. But with this new challenge, we feel our product is exceptionally well suited for this, and this presents a huge opportunity for us. In the last couple of days, I have been speaking with a couple of associates who are experts in automation. They have built some automation plants. They're from Illinois. They have dealt extensively with the auto industry. They have also done some patio furnitures. But after I've explained to them what we plan to do, they're quite stoked, and they've come up with some very good plans for us to proceed. We don't know how much capital we need. We are on a very strict budget and timeline. We need to have a working model done by April 13th.
Ken, you're gonna have to wrap it up.
Okay, so that's where we're at. I will put my contact info below, and I will try to join the construction tech room.
Thank you. Excellent. Okay, up next is Yanni.
Hey, Mark, thanks for having me on. You're doing an amazing job. We're excited to be here. My name is Yanni Deros. I'm CEO of Circ Plus, an intelligent automation and robotics system helping commercial properties reduce energy costs, lower carbon emissions, and resolve labor shortages with plug-and-play technology. So at our core, we have an AI cloud, hardware, and SaaS recurring revenue in perpetuity. We can literally modernize a guest room in 60 minutes or less with no downtime and no hard wiring, and help reduce energy costs with up to 40%. We have significant patent portfolio that have gotten around patents from Amazon and Google. We were scaling in early 2020 and COVID hit, wiping out and devastating our 20,000 rooms that we had in our pipeline. And our team of technologists stepped up and took on COVID, and in 10 weeks created CBOT, the world's first autonomous disinfecting robot that eliminates infectious diseases with no manual labor. To date, we have $28 million in partnership agreements, and we have margins that surpass traditional SaaS business models. We have a seasoned team. We're not 20-somethings. We've raised billions for others. Now it's time to raise billions for us and our investors. We've raised $2.7 million to date. We have a $3 million round open, $500,000 committed from a lead family fund, and we're looking for investors and partners. So Circ is more than just an AI technology. It's a solution for a sustainable future. So I'll put my contact information in there and look forward to connecting with others. Thank you.
Wow, super impressive. Thank you. And definitely meet Yanni in the chat. I'm going to mute everybody one more time before David takes on. David, you're going to have to actually unmute yourself now.
Okay. Hey, David Culver.
I'm sorry, David Culver for sure. Yeah, I know we have the David issue every time. I forget.
No problem. No problem. Hey, Mark, great job as always. Thanks. Thanks for putting this on. One quick victory lap here, if you will. One of our companies on Thursday just let me know that we had introduced them to a family office. They just got 6 figures of funding, and the family office is probably going to help them fill out their $1 million round. Yay!
Yay!
So everybody has a happy ending. Propellant Ventures, we just finished our 9th investment, which is 7 investments, direct investments, and 2 follow-on investments so far. Propellant Ventures is a venture capital fund based out of Chicagoland that I'm the venture advisor for. And we make investments in the pre-seed and pre-seed companies. And they tend to be in the Midwest, but we can invest anywhere. And then the third thing is my most active thing is we are launching 100 venture clubs around the country, either alumni related. So University of Georgia, go Dogs. We just won the 2nd national championship in a row. And all the other Power 5 schools and Ivy League plus schools. So about 80 schools there, and about 20 different cities, including we already have Atlanta set up. We're setting up Chicago and then Denver, and then we'll be going hopefully to a city near you. So reach out to me. I'm going to put my contact information into the chat. Thank you, Mark, again. You do such a great job.
And you do as well. David and I have sat on the same investment panels in the past, and he's great. Everybody should get to know David. Up next is Beta.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
My name is Beta Safari. I'm the CEO and the founder of Gigo Clean Technology. Gigo Clean is an application that works like Uber for cleaning industry. Currently, we are serving Southern California. The company is a C Corp. The application is ready to download. We have an investment. We are requesting an investment of $1.25 million with a minimum of $50,000. If anybody is interested, I'm going to leave my contact information on the chat. To learn more about our company, please visit our website at gigoclean.com, Gigo clean.com. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the short and precise pitch. Up next is Jessica. And your camera's not on. There we go.
Hello. How is everyone? I love hearing all the updates from everyone today. It's so fun to see how successful everyone is. I am the founder of Travel. I posted here about a month ago and I have loved the support from your community and all the follow-up that I get every time I even come into the chat. So it's definitely an amazing group. We have been raising our angel round. We have recently added, we have some exciting updates this week. We added a really beautiful futurist to the team. He's going to help us fully get the platform dialed for AI from day one. So we'll be able to really understand everyone who's hitting our site and adapt to them. So it's a really excitement. We've already closed 100.
Jessica, hold on 1 second. Hold on. Can you come back in and unmute? Go ahead. Thanks.
Oh yeah, is that better?
Your camera went back. There you go. I just had somebody in the background was causing problems. Sorry.
Oh yes. So yes, we've added a really amazing scientist and future thinker to the team who's going to be helping us truly understand our audience using instant feedback loops, and we'll be able to really. It's going to be like marketing one-to-one, in the travel world. So we're really excited about that. We've closed 100,000 of the $500,000 angel round. We're raising 15% discounted convertible notes with an $8 million cap. So if anyone else wants to get involved, hit us up. It's going to, the futurist, a direct quote from him is he's excited to see where this is going to go. and we are too.
Very good. Thank you so much. All right, up next is Jason. And for everybody who is a medical device investor in the room, you got to listen to what Jason is doing because this company is going to rock. I'm totally behind Jason. Go ahead, Jason.
Thanks, Mark. And by the way, we just got done shooting all those videos, so I'll be coming at you hot soon.
Good.
My name's Jason. I'm the CEO and chair of Magvation. And Magvation is a collective of surgeons, doctors, and OR teams that started back in 2016 to try to alleviate preventable medical errors in hospital. My father was basically the victim of a surgical error that took his life. And so we dedicated a passion project, and that was literally not leaving surgical sharps behind in the human body. So our first foray into this world is a device called Haystack. And to do that, Haystack is a surgical sharps management system. And what it does is it automates the counting of surgical sharps in the OR and make sure that nothing is left behind. It also adds efficiencies as well as allows surgeons to focus and their teams on the patient. So what we've done is we've kind of had to reinvent the surgical field, not only from redoing the Mayo stand to providing a tower, and kind of see it on the back so we could address the surgical field. But we've worked with surgeons where we've come up with a whole bunch of adjunct that goes with it. So we're doing Hay Beats as a part of it, which safely allows surgeons to listen to music in surgery, which 91% does. Again, we've reinvented the Mayo stand and gone after this. And so right now we've raised about $6 million. We're in the final piece of a little mezzanine. We have about 200,000 left on that. And then we'll start raising our Series A in May for 5 million. We are in the final phases of our ITV and FTV, which for those of you who know, FDA is the integrated test vehicle. And the formative test vehicle will launch our 510K in August and go to town. We have 51 hospitals that have already signed up, and our investors are 135, 70 of which are surgeons. So a lot of them just pay for the hope that they'll never have to count a needle again. So love to talk to you more, and a lot of synergies with other things going on in the OR.
Thank you, Jason. I always love hearing your pitch. Up next is Jay.
Hi, Jay Fraser. I'm president, co-founder, and chairman of New Dominion Enterprises. We are commercializing an inorganic liquid electrolyte for lithium-ion batteries that extends the useful life of the lithium cell, and creates a safer and more energy dense cell, which everybody, at least in the military and in the commercial side, wants a battery that has more energy in the same format. We are actually flying real high right now. We just finished our first phase 2 SBIR with AFWERX last week, submitting our final report. And the following day, we were alerted to the fact that we had been awarded 2 direct to phase 2 SBIRs from AFWERX, totaling $2.2 million in, again, non-diluted funding, bringing us up to $3 million in non-diluted funding since the beginning of 2021. We're still raising money. We want to raise around, I'm not sure what to call it. We did about $500,000 in revenue last year, about $350,000 the year before. And right now we're going to see probably $1.7 million go through our bank account this year. So we're very excited with the traction that we've developed. I've got an amazing management team. We are, as one of the gentlemen earlier said, we're not kids. We're crispy and ripe and very mature. We know what we're doing. And we think that that goes a long way as to why the government continues to back us. It's a rare occasion when you pull down 2 SBIR phase 2s in one go around. So anybody would like to talk to me, I'm more than happy.
But you don't do voting systems, right?
No, we don't. New Dominion Enterprises is a name because my co-founder, Dr. Mason K. Harrop, is originally from the state of Virginia, Old Dominion. We're commercializing his technology. And when he and I got together to form this company, when he asked me to join him, he said, this is what I want to call it. And I said, you know what? I don't really care what we call it because it's his technology and let us call it whatever he wants.
Okay, well, Jay, I'm so happy to hear of your updates, and non-dilutive funding is exciting for investors to hear. I'd actually be curious to know on the side how you're dealing with the dendrite issues and whether you're solving it better with your system than what's out there right now, because I've invested in some that couldn't solve that. And I'm, you and I can have that conversation offline at another time. I'd be curious.
I'd be very happy to talk to you about that. And we absolutely work very well with lithium metal anodes.
Okay, well, we'll have that conversation. Thank you, Jay. Up next is Ryan.
Unmute here.
You're
Mark,
good.
I am good. Thank you so much for having me. I'm super pumped. Was here last week and excited all week to be here tonight. My name is Ryan Stanley. I am the founder and CEO of My5. My5 is the brand spanking new social networking app. It's a gamified social networking app where you spend your spare time on the app answering fun and engaging questions about yourself and stuff you like to nerd out about. Could be, would you rather be invisible or know how to fly? Could be, would you rather watch The Office or Game of Thrones? Do you like pasta? Do you like to travel? Doesn't matter, random stuff, thousands of questions. And then at any given point, you go to the homepage and it will tell you who are the top 5 people most like you based on the questions that you've answered. Once you zoom in on any one of those profiles, you can see what were the top 5 topics that you guys had most in common. If you click on that, you can then see which answers actually within that topic that you also answered the same. So it's a great networking app. It's a great way to meet people. It's great for new college students. It's great for networking at different types of social events, but as well as conferences. We have raised $126,000 to get launched. We are in both App Store and Google Play. We are looking for more funding to continue to grow, as well as co-founders and mentorship. I will put all my contact information in the chat, and I look forward to hearing from you. Great to meet you. Thank you again for your time, Mark.
Thanks, Ryan. And I just want to point out something because you did something really well, Ryan, which is you got excited about your own venture. And when you get excited about it, it gets us excited about it. And I can't emphasize that enough to all of you who are learning how to pitch to investors. If you aren't excited about your business, why should we? So we want to hear that in your voice. And, the more enthusiastic you are, the more enthusiastic we get to want to take a look. It's just a little advice. Thank you, Ryan, for that. Up next is Michael.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for the opportunity, Mark. My first pitch, so hopefully it goes well. Michael Ryan, I invented an app, software, web-based, Android and iOS, Recite. About a few years ago, I partnered with a company called Idea Pros out of California. We were one out of, I think, 300 now, about 90,000 applicants. Recite. Recite was inspired by Johnny Depp, Amber Heard type crazy divorce and managing information management. There's 330 million emails around the world sent a day, 22 billion texts. So Recite consolidates all means of communication: email, instant messages, file folder sharing, a little social media type thing into one spot. So Recite, it's all here. We have an MVP out, hundreds of users. Whereas COVID hit, that killed us. We're about 80% through version 2, which is unbelievable. It's got a little fun part to it. We pretty much eliminated spam. Spam is dead with us. We've automated the unsubscribe based around the domain. They have lots and lots of things. We're looking, it's our first angel round. My partner, Fred Carey, and myself of Idea Pros, looking to get this out and solve a huge information management problem. I noticed, Mark, you missed somebody's email previous like that. Those days are over with. Recite allows the user to default what they want to see and find, focus, follow, either personal or business side. I'll put my information in the thing here. My LinkedIn's at michaelpryan.com. The app is at getrecite.com. That's version 1. Version 2 is sick. Thank you very much.
Great to have you, Michael, and hope to see you more often. And the next person who's going to pitch, whose name is not Venture Starters, it's Igor. But this may be the most important pitch of the night for some of you. I'm on the board of directors of Igor's company, and what we are doing is vitally important. Igor, you're up next. You're on mute, though. You're still on mute.
All right.
There we go.
Hi, everyone. Trying again. Yes, I'm Igor Nasonkin. I am CEO and founder of Phythera Therapeutics. I was director of R&D in a clinical stage company before. And once we learned about this drug that's working in oncology abroad, we decided to bring it to market, oncology market here in the US. The company is Phythera Therapeutics. 2 years old, and we're developing and improving botanical-based drugs to manage and treat metastatic cancer. The leading drug, Medfite, and its version Medfite Plus, can suppress late-stage cancer. At least the Medfite that has been actually tested in people abroad. Medfite Plus is a version that we developed and patented here in the US. So we're trying to bring it to IND within the next year and a half. And the company has first approved IND investigational new drug application. Of course, the value of the company goes sky high. But so far we seed stage company. We had friends and family round done. We need to complete the seed round. We need about 700K. This will enable us to bring the first drug to IND application and submit the application. And we'll need a 5 million to 6 million to run a phase 1 clinical trial. The drug is, we know it's safe. And it's very efficacious to fight late stage breast cancer and a bunch of other cancers. I even tested the drug on myself just to make sure that it's safe, but we know it is. Our R&D data strongly support this claim. So I'm here to basically raise additional funding that will enable company to receive our first, that is submit our first IND application to FDA. We're working with very good consulting company who knows how to bring botanical drugs to IND. And don't think the botanicals are herbal teas. These are very strong, sometimes very toxic drugs. The power of this drug that in the fact that it's a cocktail of several very strong inhibitors of cancer progression. So Phythera Therapeutics, name is Igor Nasonkin. I'm going to put my link and my information in the chat, and you can Google Phythera Therapeutics. There is a window to connect with us. I'm the CEO and founder. We have a great team. Thank you.
Thank you, Igor. And if anybody wants to also reach out to me about investing in this company, let me know, because this is a rare situation. I've invested in a number of life science companies, and usually we go on this long journey to try and even get to human testing to find out if it's even going to work. In this particular case, Igor found somebody who was already doing this on humans successfully, and now we have to go and sort of start from scratch to get it through FDA approval, but we already know it works. So it's really exciting. And those of you who want to help solve cancer, please join us. Up next is Luke. Hello, Luke. You're on you're no camera and maybe
okay, sorry for that. Can you
you're
hear
in
me
a
now?
couple of locations. Okay.
Can you hear me
Yeah.
now? Okay,
Yes.
great. So Mark, thank you very much for the joy for the whole event, and I really enjoy it. And I don't want to promote anything like company or sort. I would just want to say that you are great, and everybody that's here in the room can basically reach out to me via my LinkedIn, or can reach Mark by www.marknovember.com and check out what he's doing and how he's helping startups. Basically, Mark is amazing, and Mark can help you with a lot of the things. So feel free to reach out to him, and also feel free to reach me, because I helped Mark build this whole community, and I can help build yours. So Mark is a testimonial of how communities are built, and I would love to reach out to everybody that's here and needs help with their community building. And feel free to reach out to me by my LinkedIn. I will share it in the LinkedIn in the group chat. So thank you very much, Mark, again, and feel free to reach out to me and Mark by www.marknovember.com and me via my LinkedIn here in the chat. Thank you, Mark. That's it.
Okay, thank you, Luke. I just want to say, I hired Luke to help me build this thing, and look at what we've created. So Luke is really good. Please do reach out to Luke if you need marketing help. He's great at it, and he's also a great startup coach. He knows so many people. So if you need a coach, talk to Luke. All right, up next is Vinny.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? I am Vinny Williams. My company Address Me is a social network aimed at avoiding the fear of rejection and uncertainty associated with first-time face-to-face interactions. We provide an proprietary ease of introduction filtering tool that makes safe and private virtual connections possible for people who struggle connecting in the real world, and also could be beneficial for people who miss connections regularly while out and about. Our go-to-market strategy is to target local Atlanta college students at 6 local colleges, with an emphasis on students who regularly or who struggle more with face-to-face connections. The goal is to launch by this spring and hopefully have significant user density by this summer, hoping I can get some working capital to be able to make that happen. Address Me stands out from our competitors in being the one platform to offer our users a safe, discreet way to make real-time, real-space virtual connections, and for no pre-specified types of connections. Currently, I'm seeking a technical co-founder and a UX designer to complete the MVP and to assist Address Me moving forward. Also, I am seeking a lead investor who can come on board and help me negotiate the rest of my pre-seed round, and also somebody who can come in and be instrumental in taking Address Me from 0 to product market fit. I'm seeking a $300,000 safe for a pre-seed round at a $3 million valuation. This is to complete and launch the MVP and cover marketing expenses, IP protection, and to build a firm foundational infrastructure for Address Me moving forward. I'm going to post my info into the chat and hope to hear from you.
Perfect. Thank you, Vinny. Up next is Brian with Global Warming Solar, whose camera is not on. There we go.
Mondays. Oh, and there's the mute. Well, thank you much for the invite. Well, we're going off on this very simple thing. We're buying off a nice little. We're buying off 1,400 solar panels from Auctions Place. and we need to finish up the financing on that. We're doing a PPM on that. It's about 2 years for return on investment on that. We're looking at 500% return on investment, to be honest. And I should have prepped this a little bit better. I didn't think it was going to be on tonight. So if you just run out to, if you want a PPM, you can just run out to globalwarmingsolar.com. Pretty simple, straightforward. We're running on a shoestring budget, and we're currently doing economic development loans from Ohio and California. We're splitting up in two parts because Ohio has been traditionally hard to start solar farms. There's 3 spots I'm looking at. One of them is actually next to an old power plant distribution grid, which plant was flattened and the infrastructure is still intact. So I'm having a little bit of negotiation with Ohio Economic in getting that spot. But pretty much most of the things you run across where people are putting any pushback for a solar farm is usually farmers being pushed by lobbyists saying that, oh, we're going to lose jobs in farmland. Well, what we're looking at is that most solar farms should be set up, instead of just be on the ground, they should be on top of buildings, 1 or 2 stories, be it offices, warehouses, apartment complexes, and we're looking also to do joint ventures with companies on those type of projects. Our next step after this we get running is we're looking to do purification of silicon, and we have a nice little plant coming into Columbus, Ohio. Intel's coming in town and dropping quite a few billion to get that plant up and running. So we're same type of silicon that's used for solar cells. You purify a little bit more, and it is chip grade. So we're having a little bit of fun in that direction. If anybody has any questions, drop me an email, and my number's also in the chat line.
Yeah, definitely put it in the chat. Thank you, Brian. Up next is Benjamin.
Hey, everybody. Thank you so much, Mark. I really appreciate you doing this, and you do such a great job as always. My name is Benjamin, and I'm up here in Cambridge, Massachusetts. I'm the CEO of Chariot Payments, and Chariot is a cloud-based, always-on payment network that upgrades the world's payments industry to the 21st century. So currently, right now, money settles, meaning it finally arrives at its destination via payment rails that were implemented in the 1980s. This takes multiple days. There's lots of fees. There's lots of fraud. Everybody here has probably been hacked, and everybody here could probably look at their banking statement right now and see pending settlements, pending transactions. We remove all of those vestiges of the last century. We bring payments up to support today's cloud-based, platform-based economies, always on, ultra scalable, super secure, instant settlements, cross-currency, peer-to-peer payments on our immutable ledger, which we built from the ground up. We're the only fiat payment network that can scale instant settlements at the volumes necessary to allow commerce between the hundreds of millions of businesses that connect billions of people on and around the planet on all social, on all media platforms, gig economy platforms, supply chain, IoT is going to be spinning up. Really, these things that power today's world, we are unfortunately stuck with payments in the literal 1980s. We only need 1 bank per currency zone. We have that bank in the US. We're launching this quarter. We have multiple partnerships, multiple joint ventures. So we're going to be revenue generating on day 1. We have over 100 companies we're going to be integrating into, and a United Nations-backed metaverse group, and so much more. As an example of what a scalable payments are and what we need in this world is that we're launching a product that will enable social media creators, which is hundreds of millions of businesses across multiple platforms, to take direct payments for all their content. Just like right now, Mark could take direct 25 cents from everybody here. It may seem small, but when you scale that up to millions of followers, it's a significant amount of money movement, and there is no payments network that can scale to these new economies that we all live on. So at the end of the day, we're able to make millions of small micropayments on day 1 for any content, drive money to charities in their names, so much more. The best part is that we can democratize the network. We can allow people to get a revenue share from the wallets they onboard, literally sharing the value of money flow with the users of the network, something no payments network in the world will do. So at the end of the day, I have a convertible note. I have 100% commitments to that note, but I can expand it. If there are strategic groups in here, investors that have industries they'd like to implement this into, I'd love to chat with strategic investors or groups that are familiar in the payments and tech and Web3 space. And I'd love to share more information. My information is now in the chat. I'll press return right now. And I want to thank everybody for listening and Mark for doing this again. Have a great night, everybody.
Thank you, Benjamin. Appreciate all of that. Let me move you. Okay, so up next is Parush, who has the best idea, not an idea. He has the best invention for this particular problem. And we've got to get him off the ground. Go ahead and explain that. I don't want to tell your whole pitch, but I love what you're doing.
Thank you, Mark. Appreciate it. My name is Piyush Sheth. I'm the founder and CEO of K-Medical. K-Medical has a vision, and the vision is to eliminate a bed sores by preventing them. So bed sores, also known as pressure injury, is widespread. Thousands of people, 60,000, die every year just as a direct result of getting bed sores. And healthcare costs are humongous. They range from $9 to $11 billion in healthcare costs. We have secured research grants through NIH, and that is fantastic and is supporting our foundation of this startup. And we are partnered with professors in engineering and professors in medicine to solve this problem. And we have approved patents in the US and patent pending in EU and the US as well for various technologies that we are using to make this smart mattress. And this smart mattress is based on machine learning, an algorithm that helps you design the mattress for a specific individual instead of making one size fits all. So we have some very fascinating machine learning that is behind what the designs of these mattresses should be. And we have these patented algorithms, and now we have shown the proof of concept. We are on our way to build the prototype, and we are seeking funds for contract manufacturing and commercialization. And I can provide all the information to anyone who is interested. And we are seeking $3 million in equity for 30% equity. And so I'll put my information in the chat, and and anyone who's interested, please reach out to me, and I'll be more than happy to provide all the information. Thank you.
You're welcome. It's a good one, everybody. Take a look at this one. Up next is Wendy. Wendy Cohen, no camera yet. There we go. There you go.
Hi there, Wendy.
Hello.
So my pitch is a little different. I am a certified international property specialist and global real estate practitioner, and I host trade missions around the world. So some upcoming events that we have is we are invited to attend a trade mission in Senegal with the U.S. Commercial Service, and that's with Enterprise Florida. And I'm hosting an event in Jamaica in December. We just had our first event, which featured new development in Jamaica. And I'd like to share that Jamaica has been one of the growing stock markets in the world. They had #1 stock market for 5 years in a row through Bloomberg. And we'd love to share why it's such a great economy. But one of the reasons that you may or may not be aware of is that we have the largest and deepest port in the Atlantic. So the ships that can go through the Panama Canal, which is why it was just recently widened, go to Jamaica, which holds a mega ship, which are 5 ships in one. So that makes it a logistics hub. So Kingston is experiencing unprecedented growth right now with our first skyscraper. So you can imagine a future Hong Kong or a Greece as a logistics hub. So Jamaica is that. And with it being so close to Florida in the US, you can imagine a megaship coming in can be broken down to Canada, US, the Caribbean, South America, and Central America in one ship. So from a sustainability standpoint, I'm involved with sustainable development. I have multiple projects in Jamaica and also in Central Florida. And I also represent the largest 3D print company in the world, which is out of South Korea, Canada, and the US. So I'm here to speak about the Sustainable Development Goals and how I can help bring more affordable housing, whether to your local market or foreign markets in up to 70 countries through the International Real Estate Federation. So I'm Wendy Cowan. Find me on LinkedIn, Globally Wendy, on LinkedIn and Instagram. Thank you.
Great. Nice to meet you, Wendy.
Thank
Up
you.
next is Nathan.
Thanks, Mark. It was put on a great event. Lots of people here tonight. Everybody's done great. Hi, everybody. I am Nathan DeYoung with Asset Fund. I'm also the founder. And we help individuals with investing in private businesses through crowdfunding without all the risks. We've developed a process that allows individuals to invest in fractional shares of private profitable businesses using our cloud sourcing platform. We will also be using blockchain and AI in our process to monetize untapped profit potentials. We currently compete in the growing crowdsourced investor market. We're similar to companies like Fundrise and Arrived, used to be Arrived Homes, but we operate in purchasing businesses instead of real estate. We're currently seeking to raise a $1 million two-year convertible bridge note pre-seed at 1% per annum with 20% discount at conversion. The plan is to raise $5 million over the next 2 years. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you. Up next is Rosalie, who's we can't see. There we go. No, not yet. There we go. And you're on mute.
All right, so I'm Rosalie Bingham. I'm the CEO of Regenerative, and as an investor myself, I sucks when you don't get back your money. So we have a way of showcasing that we're 80% correct in being able to use a technology to vet a business to see and an idea to see if it's going to make sense. And like I said, as someone born and raised in Las Vegas, that's pretty good odds. And so we are a Problem Solver Alliance that comes together. We have a B Corporation and a nonprofit. And we're improving lives through virtual feasibility studies. And then what we've done is as an investor myself, I didn't want to invest in something until I realized exactly what, that I could actually invest or ask people to invest in anything until I knew I could deliver. And I've been writing lots of grants lately. And I realized there's a lot that we've done. And so we did these 2 alpha tests with veterans to prove that if we can bring a virtual reality together, scale it into an alpha test. And with UNLV, the university here, we grew and produced food and also affordable housing for veterans. So now what we're doing is going to our Congress people and our commissioners and saying, listen, if we've got a vetted solution, we've infrastructurally shown that it can be supported, and we've got 700 acres of land outside of Las Vegas that we're supporting, that we're building this. We call it a gem in the desert. And we're saying, if you don't want to support this, why? Because first of all, it's community supported, it's infrastructurally and environmentally supported, and it's going to improve our economy. And then we're going to let transparency set us free, because we're going to showcase which elected officials are helping and which ones aren't. And like I said, when I was a keynote speaker in front of a governor, senator, and congressperson, I said, if you don't like what we're saying because we're just being completely transparent, then stop doing it. And so we believe that together we can start holding people accountable for what they say they're going to do in their campaign promises to help the people. Well, we're going to make sure that gets done. I'm Rosalie Bingham. You can find me at Local Sparks. That's SPARX.com. I have a YouTube channel where all of our things are videotaped. And so you can see our boardroom meetings, because we do believe transparency is the answer here. We have a funding platform as well that we're funding viable solutions that are, like I said, that have been vetted, that are 80% going, in our opinion, have been, will be profitable because they passed the sniff test. Thanks so much.
Thank you, and best wishes on your project for the veterans.
Right?
Yeah.
No, we're already doing it. It's already done. We've already
Awesome.
completed it. I had two successful alphas on that.
I
Yep.
love hearing that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Up next is Joanne.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me, Mark. This is really exciting. This is my first time I'm joining in.
Great.
My name is Joanne Corso. I'm in California, originally from New Jersey. I've been here about 8 years. I've been in business around 32 years, a really long time. I help people grow their businesses from capital raise to everything imaginable. We take a 360-degree approach to everybody's company, no matter what industry you are in. And I have recently started building several funds. I have an entertainment fund, a healthcare fund, a tech fund, all different things that I'm putting together. I do have clients all over the world, but I also have investors all over the world. And I would love to be able to include some of your deals in the funds, depending on whatever it is. So if you'd like to contact me for either coaching or to be included in the fund, I'd love to talk to you. And I will
That's
put my
great.
information in the chat.
Please, everybody that needs that service, please check with Joanne. And by the way, we're trying to create a fund for the Venture Starters community. So if you have any ideas how we can build
Mark,
what I'm calling
it's
a
Luke here.
Wednesday fund. What's that?
Mark, Luke is here. I just want to mention that Durant Davis wanted to talk with you about raising a fund. I think
I'd
he's
like
here.
to. Duran
Yeah.
and I definitely need to connect and talk about that. I agree.
Absolutely.
Joanne, I just wanted
Definitely can help you.
I just wanted to mention that since Joanne sounds like she's doing some really important work, which could impact our community, and we need this. So thank you so much, Joanne. Thank you, Luke, for that comment. Up next is Jose.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Mark. Thank you, everybody.
Hi. Yeah, sorry about the breakout room and all of those issues. I feel bad. I know you were going to host or moderate a room. We apparently were too successful, had too many people, and it sort of created an adverse reaction in the Zoom algorithm. Hopefully we'll work through that by next week. But go ahead, Jose.
I believe that the job you're doing is amazing. So congratulations are in order, and from the bottom of my heart, it is important for me. I live in New York City, but I work with the investors and with people in Latin America. And it is important for us to have a space like this. We are also trying to, this is going to take time. You know, it's going to take time bringing the projects from Latin America and investors from Latin America. We have a very amazing, good, great human capital in financing down in the region. I'm also the chair of the board of directors of the Peruvian Business Council, and we are right now in advanced level of development of a fund for $500 million that is going to cover small and micro, only small and micro agriculture farmers working in non-traditional, already integrated to non-traditional agricultural supply chains in Peru. We are, for example, the second producer of blueberries between many other agricultural, non-traditional agricultural products. We're going to have, this fund is going to be divided in different spaces. We're going to have money for the farmers. We're going to have money for agri-tech technology integration. We're going to have money for training of the workforce that is going to install and maintain the agri-tech, the agricultural technology. We're working with the Development Bank of Peru, who guarantees the administration through a trust fund. So there are many different opportunities to support farmers, micro and small farmers, integrated to supply chains, successful agricultural supply chains down in the Andean region. That's it.
Thank you, Jose. I love what you're doing. And just so you know, I don't even know if you do know, I helped with a great team build a hydropower plant in Honduras. So I'm invested in Latin America already, and the entire region needs more investment. Hopefully our investors will step up. It's great people throughout those regions. All right.
A lot of opportunities.
Lots of opportunity. Next up is Ollie.
Oh, hello everybody, and thank you, Mark, for having me on, and wonderful to listen to all those fantastic ideas. All we need is actually equally fantastic investors with enough imagination to match imagination of people like us. inventors. And I am hopefully one of those that will be supported by the investors, angels. Just imagine that instead of all the failed public transport systems that we experience, including our cars, which still are the best of public transport systems, that's why 97% people use them, you had something better, which actually would eliminate 50 to 90% of cars from the streets, no traffic jams, nothing. And it's not a flying drone, which will take another 100 years maybe to perfect before it has collision avoidance systems when million of them are buzzing like mosquitoes. So anyway, we've got $2 billion for this system, Metrino, just little metro, not a big metro, little metro. Imagine having a personal monorail, which goes from A to destination, no stopping, no sharing. It's the size of a car, except it's a quarter of the weight, and it costs as much as a bus, and it goes above the ground 10 meters. It's really not very safe, much safer than lifts and aeroplanes. So what's the problem? One would think there isn't. And it is there. We've got 15 cities around the world which gave us in writing, black and white, signed by the mayors and councils. You want to build it, you build it. We cannot give you money because it's unproven. But 3 of such systems, first generations, are already operating. It's really like a golf cart in a way, propelling itself, self-driving car, except not on the street. It's just hanging on the guideway, small guideway. So we've got the management team, we've got the cities, market is 5 trillion. We've built the full-size prototypes, we've got the patents. So we've got everything to get going. I've put the on our chat the connections. You've got my name, email with my connection address as well. So investors and angels, VCs, or anyone who would like to be involved in a new kind of Tesla, Google company, except above the ground, fast to build, safe, and very profitable. We offer convertible note. We are pitching for 10 million cap from $25,000 per unit. Yes, we hope that USA would be the first country in the world to have such a system in commercial operation. So thanks, everybody.
Thank you very much. I'd like to hear more about that. Please come back. Up next is Caesar, who's not on video. There we go. Oh yeah, Bay Angels, I remember. Yeah, go.
Thank you. How are you? Good to see you. Good to see everybody. Some of the folks I know here already, but Caesar Vianatig here in San Francisco. So I'm the founder of Resonate. I'm an advisor at Bay Angels as well as at Startup Right. And so I put my information in the chat. Welcome to connect with me on LinkedIn. So I'm really helping startup founders with 2 persistent challenges. The first is in sales and revenue growth, and the second is in growth funding, both of which are affecting the bottom line. And so, and I do that in a couple of ways through my Accelerate sales service, where I'm booking meetings with decision makers at mid-market companies in the US and Europe. This is mainly for tech, B2B, and some growth marketing work as well for inbound. And so booking meetings is more outbound. And in terms of growth funding, that's really introducing to different investors, creating video interviews and then presenting that to 200 plus investors thereabouts. So that's what I do. And welcome to connect. Like I said, the folks I work with each have their own parameters from a funding perspective. Some will put some money in pre-seed. Some will only work with you if you have some traction in place. So obviously my Accelerate sales service is helping to gain traction, right? So they work hand in hand. So yeah, welcome to connect, and I'll put my information here now. And thank you very much, Mark. I apologize. I'm supposed to be the moderator in the accelerator room, but
I'm actually glad you popped out, and thank you so much for the whole breakout room thing kind of didn't work out so perfect. Uh-oh, hold on. Somebody was on mute there.
So the breakout broke down?
The breakout broke down because apparently we had too many people and it triggered a problem. I'll have to get with Zoom and figure it out next week. Yeah, it's a nice problem. I did look, we've had over 500 people that have attended. They didn't all show up at the same moment, but this was our record-breaking night. And, you know, it won't be long before we literally have 1,000 people in a room.
Well, you know whose fault
Figure
that
out how
is?
to build this thing.
That's Luke's fault. That's Luke.
Yeah, actually, I think that Mark will become next Shark Tank.
Anyways, thank you both. Let's move on. Greg is up next. Greg Sheldon.
Hello, Mark. Thank you for having me. Much appreciated. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so my name is Greg Sheldon, and I specialize in the metals industry. I've been in it for 22 years, and I'm the founder of a company called Metal Merger. And what we're looking to do is create the Amazon of the metals industry by consolidating the heavily fragmented market. And what that does is that creates pricing wars and people not being able to compete on anything other than price. So what I do is consult with that too. But along with that, I have a podcast about the metals industry. So I'm looking for people in the industry that have a lot of experience, 30, 40, 50 years, that can come on the show and share knowledge with myself and the listeners. And that, helps spread the word about an industry that everybody's forgotten about. Well, not everybody, but a lot of people have forgotten that this is the key. Our industry, the metals industry, makes our modern day life possible. So as the founder of Metal Merger, it's, my duty to let everybody know here that we're looking for opportunities of acquisition. So if you know anybody that is in a company that is, a baby boomer, or a founder that doesn't have an exit or succession plan, we can provide that for them. We can buy the company, or we can improve the company so we can buy it from them at a later date for more money. So a number of things there. Podcasts, to recap, podcast opportunities, willing to share in the upside with anybody that is willing to help me out. Also looking to always network with people that are interested in funding opportunities to innovate an old industry. I've got funding for larger deals, but what's the hardest part of doing a roll-up, which is rolling up of smaller companies, is finding funding for smaller deals. So love to network with some people on that, and just in general. So our secret sauce in the industry is caring about the people first. We have technology to do that, and putting e-commerce into place, and many other innovations that are secret but are being used by other industries, so that our industry could utilize these. So I'll finish with this. My motto personally is I want to make the people around me more successful, so by default I will be too. So join my network, get to know me, and I'll get to know you, and we can help each other out. So text me 613-813-3529, or email me at greg@metalmergercorp.com, and I will also share this in the chat. Thank you for your time.
Thanks,
Yes,
Greg.
and Mike, look here, just one suggestion. I have an idea about how to do more like breakout rooms and not on Zoom, and just you can have many people and things will not crash. I have ideas. We will talk after the call.
Thank you. Luke is always very inventive, and he's been extremely helpful at building our community. So we all should, give Luke a round of, a thanks for helping us get here. All right. So up next is Kent.
Hi, Mark. Thanks for hosting. Thanks for having me. I'll keep this real short and
quiet, hopefully.
Yeah, I just got a call right when I started. Hi, everybody. I'm Kent. I'm a scientist and a startup founder, and this person keeps trying to call me. I want to cure all diseases and save the world, which is a completely insane thing to want to do. I personally think it's insane because the world is insane, not because biology is too complicated. So after years of working in biotech, working as a scientist, like the warpath I'm on now is about vastly expanding the number of people who can help, about taking society's resources, putting them in the direction of curing diseases instead of a bunch of other nonsense. And so I took everything I've developed, everything I've learned in 20 years of being in biotech and synthetic biology, and I used that to start this company to design and build an advanced molecular sensing instrument that's basically disguised as a toy. So for you to take part in large-scale, population-scale molecular experimentation for clinical trials, for just getting data about biology, you don't need to know anything but how to put stuff into a reservoir where molecules and cells are detected by these advanced sensors, and they create a gaming experience. So I founded Molecular Reality Corporation. We're a YC-backed biotech gaming startup. And we want to multiply by 10 the number of people involved in fundamental biomedical research in the next decade. We've raised a total of 1.5 million, and we recently got the first check into our seed round from one of the most respected scientists on the planet. I don't want to name drop here, but it's someone everyone in biotech has heard of. As soon as it's possible to get a transporter to the Star Trek room, I'll be hanging out there talking to people. Meanwhile, check out our website, www.molecularreality.com.
I love that. And I hope we will get the Star Trek room open for you, because what you're working on sounds totally cool. And as crazy as that sounds, it'd be nice if you succeed for all of us. So I'm absolutely rooting for you. The next gentleman up, I don't know your name because you're still listed as Venture Starters, but you're in a hoodie, and that's all I can go on is Hoodie Man. By the way, next time those of you who come late and you have the Venture Starters name, there's 3 dots that you can click that's on the screen on your face. And those 3 dots is where you can rename yourself to your real name, which will help you for networking purposes. But anyways, go ahead. Let us know who you are.
Hi, my name is Travis Carter, and I'm the founder of Smarter Home Technology. I've been here once before, a couple weeks ago. Last time I kind of formally pitched, this time will be a little informal. My company is a marketplace for the construction industry. We focus on sustainable products such as solar. We are a SaaS product, very, very early stages, but yes, we are generating revenue. Today I'm here because I just wanted to share and let everyone know, the current state of the solar industry is unlike something I've ever seen before. I reached out to try to get some sales, and the next thing you know, I have $10 million worth of orders sitting on my lap, begging them to take. I can't take it. I have to turn it down. I cannot believe the amount of sold jobs already sold that could be installed right now. So what I've done is I've actually scaled back. We grew from 0 to 60 people in 6 months, and was on track to $1 million a month. And I didn't want to grow that messy. So I scaled back, and we built this training program to launch field technicians out into the field at a much more rapid pace. We bring them into the office, train them virtually. They can take this system and do it from home as well, online. After that, they get scheduled to our warehouse to build a system, and then we launch them into the field with a crew. After 30 days, you're trained. We typically generate $1 to $2.5 million a year per crew just on the labor side. So if we start partnering in sales and engineering, that number will increase. We're currently making about $250,000 a month in revenue, and seeking investment to help scale our training programs and launch quicker. I have an engineer on staff ready to start getting licenses and launching into other states, but we need to scale a partner to help us do acquisitions to buy. I heard another gentleman talking about this earlier, a roll up. It's difficult to find someone to help me that wants to buy up these small mom and pop shops going out of business. They already have the infrastructure there. We could take ownership of them, put a manager in place, update their systems with my systems, which is kind of success has been operations. Right after I was an apprentice, I asked to be the operations manager, and I doubled the company's revenue, and instantly we turned on marketing channels and started making revenue the same day. After that, I developed a scheduling system because they had papers just laying on the counter and no idea what they were doing. And I realized those skills are much more valuable to me, and that's what I
think you're over 2 minutes. Sorry for interrupting, but I think you're over 2 minutes and by a lot.
Luke,
Please wrap up.
I appreciate you taking the moderator role, but I'll stay moderator for now. But I do agree. The best thing that you could do to present to us next time would be have your real name out on your screen so we know who you are. You can leave your information in the chat now so everybody will know who you are. Sounds like you're doing something really great, but we'd like to know who you are basically, and that's kind of the missing link to all that. And we do need to move on. Everybody that's left, since we're actually in overtime, when we say 2-minute elevator pitch, I know it's hard to learn how to do a 2-minute elevator pitch. It's just a tease. It's not a business plan. It's just a tease. And then people meet you after you tease them. So just learn to tease. That's my suggestion. Up next is David.
Hey, I'm David Trujillo with The Water Machine, the world's first all-glass, gravity-fed, countertop water purifier. The black carbon filters remove viruses, pathogens, bacteria, heavy metals, chlorine, fluoride from your drinking water. I sell on Amazon, eBay, and my own website. I recently had a customer put a video on TikTok that went viral with almost 6 million views and over 100K in sales in a week. And I am looking for investors to help me fund the growth on my website and through Amazon and all the Amazon channels around the world. I am David Trujillo with The Water Machine, david@thewatermachine.com. And the water you drink might not be as clean as you think.
There you go. That's a perfect pitch. I love that because it was quick and fast. We got an idea what it is. I'm sorry, we're trying to teach everybody at the same time as listen and be respectful of what you're saying. But thank you so much, David. We're going to move on. Up next is Kalana. Did I get that right? I'm not sure I pronounced your name correct.
That's correct, Mark. Thank you very much. And it's really awesome to see on this consecutive session. We have so much of members connecting in. I'm also connected with Luke as well. So I'm the CEO and co-founder of N-Finance, where e-commerce sellers usually being faced with a challenge who gets paid after 15 to 90 days. We provide invoice-based, e-commerce-based factoring as a lending fintech startup. So at the moment, we are currently on a recurring revenue business model, and we are happy to raise funding from angel investors and also who are keen on debt financing. I represent N-Finance. We are already connected with more than 10 e-commerce marketplaces, including Amazon, Wayfair, and Home Depot. And banks cannot provide this solution because the invoice sizes are small. That's why we analyze the sales history and provide e-commerce factoring for e-commerce sellers. So connect with me. My details are already shared on our chat line. Thank you very much. And I look forward to connect with any keen partners. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kalana. Up next is you. I'm sorry. Tell us how to pronounce it. I'm sure I'm going to mispronounce it.
Hi, Mark. It's Utkarsh.
Thank you.
Yeah.
My apologies.
Hi, everyone.
Thanks.
Oh, no, not a problem. Hi, everyone. I'm Utkarsh from IHQ Ventures. We are a venture studio fund based in Boston. And I currently speak from India. The fund manager is based in Boston, and we are looking to start investing. The fund has been created recently. We are going to be investing in early stage startups and innovations. The catch over here is that We are a venture capital studio fund. Like I said, we offer cash investments up to 200K. And along with that, our studio supports, it takes complete ownership of the marketing for an early stage startup for almost a year. So we hope to save a startup around $500,000 through that. And that's the entire deal. We take around 3 to 10% equity. You can connect with me over the details that I'm going to share over chat. And thanks a lot.
What kind of companies are you great at marketing? I'm curious.
Sorry?
What kind of companies are you great at marketing?
Mark, we are actually just starting. So to be very honest, I won't be able to answer that question, but our team is going to be able to work with all kinds of startups. There is no particular specialization that we're looking at.
Okay, because that's an interesting model, and I hope you'll come back. I'd like to learn more.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, terrific.
See me again.
Thank you so much. Up next is Premise. Who's on?
Hi,
There you go.
I was on mute. Hi, everyone. Thank you, Mark, for starting this. And it's a lot of gentlemen here, so I hope you get what I'm about to introduce. Imagine running through the airport in a pair of regular flip-flops, and you get to security, they tell you to take them off, and you're like, I just got my toes done. You have paper towels and cotton balls everywhere. And the security guard says, you must take them off since 9/11. That's the rule. So you're like, there's got to be a better way. Introducing the pedicure sandal. It's a 4-pronged toe separating sandal you wear before, during, and after a pedicure treatment. I have 6 patents issued. 4 patents are IPs, 2 are design patents. So I am covered and still covering. I launched originally in Macy's on Super Bowl Sunday of 2019. I had the opportunity of launching in Atlanta, Lenox Square Mall, and the next day headquarters in New York called. I was in New York, Macy's, Florida, and Atlanta, and then COVID hit. During that 2-year time, I managed to apply for Walmart and Amazon, and I just launched on Walmart last month and Amazon 2 months ago. So that being said, 4 days ago, I got a call from Good Morning America and The View, and I am now seeking investment because I have to come up with a certain amount by a certain time. You can reach me at pettyliciousfootwear.com. My email is my first name, Premise, PREMISE, at pettyliciousfootwear.com. My number, you can text 973-902-2100. I will put it in the chat, and all of my products, including my soul care products, are gender neutral, as well as my pedicure sandals are gender neutral. The men, you don't have the rhinestones. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you, Mark.
That was great. And I love your enthusiasm. Everybody, you just need to bring that enthusiasm like that. So that was a great pitch, I have to say. So you're always welcome to come back. All right, up next, I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. So Jania, I apologize.
No problem, Saujanya. That's fine, Mark. No problem. Thank you for the opportunity. Yeah. Hi, everybody. This is Saujanya from My B2B Network. We help businesses solve 2 big problems. One is finding out a vendor for outsourcing their business needs. And the other one is lead generation. We made the outsourcing process easy. You can submit your complete requirement with us and get multiple quotations from verified vendors and compare your quotations in a go. And the other way, we eliminate cold, warm, and hot leads and generate strong leads for you to save a lot of time with lead gen. Please feel free to connect with me. I'll drop my message in the chat.
That's great. Great to have you. Thank you so much for your pitch. Up next is Robert with the best looking background there of the ocean.
Yeah, Robert Kramars. And when I started investing as an angel in 2009, I discovered that trust was the biggest problem because we couldn't trust what entrepreneurs were pitching us or if they really had the resources and abilities. So I created Intelliversity to coach entrepreneurs how to gain the trust of investors. That's on Intelliversity.org. But the reason I'm here is that because of that, I was asked to be a partner, managing partner in Shepherd Ventures, which had a 67% success rate in Fund 2 because it invests in the founders, the jockeys, not the horses, and the people. So we're totally people-oriented and leadership-oriented. And Shepherd Ventures is now raising Fund 3 for medical devices and med tech, which a lot of the companies here would qualify. So contact me if you're looking for a seed round or a Series A in medical or health tech. And Mark, I'm also interested in talking to you personally about your fund.
I'd like to talk to you, absolutely. And we have some shared interest in the healthcare and the medical device area.
I noticed that in your interest, yeah.
Yeah, so let's definitely connect. In fact, my assistant's gonna reach out to you right now, and we'll try and figure out how we can connect.
And Bill Whitmire has been on here a bunch of times, told me
I like Bill.
I gotta be here. Yeah. He's
I
my
like-
buddy.
Yeah, I really like what he's doing as well. Okay, up next is Maud. Hello, Maud.
Hi everyone. Hi Mark, thanks for the space. I am Maud. I am the founder and CEO of the GoWe app, which is a travel app for parents. We are aiming to be the trip advisor for families, and we are helping parents find anything they need when they're going out of their home to keep their kids busy and happy. Today I am here to connect. Mainly, I have questions about Google Ads. So if anybody is, a pro and an expert in the matter, I would love to connect, especially. But anybody in the travel industry, tech, women in tech, and especially, I'm looking to connect and chat further. And that's it for me.
Thank you very much. And we love seeing more and more women founders here. I hope one day half of our audience is women. I don't know when that'll be, but hopefully sooner than later. Thank you, Maud. Up next is David.
Hi, everybody. I'm David Furshine. I'm the CFO of Brillouin Energy Corp in Berkeley, California. We are an actual cold fusion company. We've raised $24 million to date, including over $1.5 million of core business revenue. We just sold a test system to a leading defense contractor, and we've got a lot of other commercial activity going on. We are closing a Series C round. Our technology actually works and is running in our lab. You can see it. What that means is we make micro nuclear energy without the nuke in it. In other words, we make net positive heat out of the wall. We draw electricity from any electric source. We make more heat than the electricity that we use. And ultimately, it can and will power electric applications. You can reach me. I will post our stuff in the chat. We've got everything that you'd want to see. We're expanding our team. We're about to set up our first manufacturing facility here in the San Francisco Bay Area. And I look forward to connecting with all clean tech investors. Thank you very much.
I'd like to learn more, by the way, David, because I am a clean tech investor, and I'm curious how you convert the heat back to electricity or energy and how that all works. But anyway,
I just want to say I did that in 1 minute and 10 seconds.
Yay, David, and that was impressive.
And Mark, you and I already have, I'm on your calendar for next week.
Thank God. Oh, good.
All right.
I want to know about this one. All right. Thank you, David. Thanks for everybody for hanging in here so late. Up next is Meta.
Finally, I'm trying to hold on to my energy, Mark.
Sorry, a long night. Thank you for.
I know, I'm kind of, you were saving the best for last. Huh?
There you go.
This is my second time, but again, there was a lot of new information, new energy, and it's always engaging, and I'll definitely try to stay on point. I am more on the smaller emerging end, the whole fintech, VC levels, all that that's not me. I'm truly grassroots, ground level, looking for resources and support. I've been doing kind of like the sidebar things, kind of reaching out to people who I feel can connect to what it is that I'm looking to do. Ideally, I am an advocate for veterans. I'm a 9/11 first responder for those I did not connect with last time. And I'm in the New York metro area, and I'm working with local organizations. We're trying to gather available space to build out, to provide support services for our veterans, the military, as well as their families, and to create an environment where we can have agricultural kind of an hydroponic sort of environment, research and development, address some of the issues pertaining to the burn pits. We have a public hospital that's underutilized. I live in a county that has a $3.3 billion budget, but they spend minimal dollars to support our 80,000 plus veterans. That's a sin and a shame. because I live on a sandbar, Long Island. We're surrounded by water. Clean energy is something that's new and emerging for us. So I need resources so that I can gear up our entrepreneurial base within our veteran space so that our student veterans who we've had to set up pantries on college campuses can actually earn money, support their families, and stay locally. I also have a media platform called Influence Dakota. I'm very interested in talking to a number of the emerging entrepreneurs like Premise and anyone else who's looking to do socially responsible activities that can be promoted. So that's kind of where I am. I can put my LinkedIn profile, but like I said, I guess I'm looking for an angelette investor. I mean, I just think there's a lot of low-hanging fruit that could really be beneficial for the community. My publication, Influence Dakota, which stands for Diversity in Communities, Opportunities, Technologies, and Amenities. We launched it literally 2 weeks before COVID. We were still able to get some issues out, but our focus is to promote those initiatives in the global arena that are uplifting communities. So we are also providing jobs for writers of culture, conscience, and color so that these stories that generally don't get in the media are actually getting told. So I really wanted to try and incorporate all that. And lastly, because I'm in New York and we were in a hot zone, I started working with an African-American doctor who has a clinical research initiative. He's one of the few African-American doctors who has a clinical research operation. Our focus is on addressing chronic diseases, particularly in underserved communities. So we're looking to branch out in that arena as well to bring those resources to these underserved communities so that they can live healthy and fruitful lives. So that's my story in a nutshell. Again, Mark, great job. And, I know we did a lot of talking last week about different things to do. And yeah, you tried the breakout room, it didn't work, but I think this gave us a good opportunity to, pivot and still make it work. And hopefully people can reach out to me, I can reach out to them, and we can move forward from there. Thank you so much.
I like what you're trying to do for a community, so it sounds great. Anyways, thank you so much for your pitch. Up next is Quentin.
Hey, Mark, thanks everybody for joining here today. And I've honestly had some fantastic conversations in the breakout rooms this time. So thank you so much for having these. So my name's Quentin. I'm founder of DaaS, Developers as a Service. And the easiest way I can say this is I help non-technical founders find their technical co-founder. So if you're looking for a CTO or a developer to help bring your idea to life, that is what I'm here for. It's not a straight process from I have an idea to I'm going to find a developer to build this for me. Because as you can imagine, a lot of them do have jobs and they do want to keep those jobs with their healthcare benefits and all that stuff. So what we provide is first, we're going to meet with you and talk about your idea. We're going to see where you're at in the design process and if you even have a design built yet. And if you do, then we'll start seriously talking with you about building a pitch deck and then starting to pitch this idea to a technical co-founder. We source a lot of our talent from overseas, either in India or in South America, for the early stage startups. And then for the more serious startups that are in Series A or Series B, we have a process.
I've been trying to close. Oh, I'm sorry. We're having a breakout room issue. I thought I closed the breakout rooms. Now I'm getting notices there's people still in them. So my ability to even control the breakout rooms ended. So I had a massive technology issue tonight on the breakout rooms. You're lucky, Quentin, you even got in. Anyways, I'm sorry to interrupt your pitch.
It's okay. I feel
dealing with host issues.
Yeah, no problem. I'll take it either way. Well, anyway, my name is Quentin, DaaS, Developers as a Service. If any of you are non-technical and you are looking to start a software as a service or some kind of technical product, that is what we provide, is how does the product development lifecycle really work, and how do I even get started, and how do I scale it out so that I can actually get a VC to invest in me. So please feel free to reach out. And if you count to 3, 1, 2, 3, I'm going to put my information in here so that everybody can connect with me on LinkedIn, because that's the best place to get in touch with me. Thank you so much.
Okay, great. Thank you. And a lot of our founders need that service. Absolutely. So good luck with that. Up next is Jamie.
Hey, Mark. Thanks for this event and for having me here. Do we have any sports fans in the room left? There's the numbers are dwindling, but I'm Jamie Wood, co-founder of Fanoramas. We've cracked the code on fan engagement. What we do, if you think of like the roller coaster picture that you get from the theme park, scale that to an entire venue. But what we do is take photos of every fan simultaneously during those epic moments in the action. So every fan comes away with their own personal highlight reel from the events they attend. So we're giving fans the snack and share content they love. Teams and brands come away with first party data structured in a way that's meaningful for them and measurable and attributable ROI on sponsorship activations. We've got great traction. We've worked with Hockey Canada, the German Hockey Federation, Athletes Unlimited, and we're set to pilot with a La Liga club in Spain this coming spring, and more in the pipeline. We're looking for, so my ask today for being here, we're looking for sponsorship partners who want to get in early on the action to sponsor some events we've got coming up in New York City and in Dallas. That would align to Women's History Month and Black History Month in February, March. And then the second ask is we're looking to chat with investors as we begin our first fundraise, our seed round. So that's all for me. Thanks for having me and for holding space for all of us here, Mark. That's fantastic.
Well, thanks for staying so late past our normal end time. Really appreciate it. And we do have a lot of sports fans. Maybe the next time you'll get in the queue a little earlier. Up next is Dr. Romina.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for staying long. I was actually making some notes to share with you. I'm a chiropractor. 80% of my patients could have avoided being a patient. Out of those 80% of them would be seeing me as a result of a sports injury or some kind of a, Jamie, this would be fun for you, as a result of a sports injury or some kind of a repetitive stress injury. So what I created is a solution to the major problem of not being able to sustain office visits due to time or money. So we created a line of activewear that corrects the body into proper position instantly. So all of you would be sitting upright with less pressure on your lower back right now. But the best part of it is we added the SaaS model of sensors that track the movement of the spine and pelvis. So we can tell you exactly when you're pitching, throwing, swinging, running, jumping, exactly what the position of your spine was. So if you're a golfer, this would be an MRI of your swing, taking out the margin, the human error margin, and helping you train your own body and your own game into a higher performance. To date, we have had almost $60,000 in pre-orders. The technology is so effective in helping people that actually we've had orders from local construction workers, LACT union workers, as well as CHP and police officers to prevent injury. So what we are doing up to date has been self-funded, self-studied, studies, everything, savings, home loans, etc. But the most wonderful thing is we are ready to enter the market and we're seeking a bridge capital in order to be able to get to our growth stage and our profitability. Seeking angel and family investors to help us move to the next level of Series A round. Thank you for your time. And we say the company is called Backs You because I say, who backs you, baby? A chiropractor.
Good one. And it sounds like a great product. So
instantly you look taller, stronger. It's almost like a Batman suit.
I want it right now while I'm sitting here. So yeah.
Put it in the chat.
Totally put your information in the chat because that is a winner of an idea. So many of us are having our own spine issues. Thank you for that pitch. Hopefully you'll come back again. Up next is Mike, who I think we accidentally lost for a brief moment there, but I'm glad to see you got back in the queue.
Nothing accidental about it. Let's call it user error on my end, Mark.
Okay.
Yeah.
Glad to know it wasn't on our end tonight.
I build elevator pitches for businesses, and I know how hard it is to explain what you do and grab the attention of the people listening in 2 minutes. It's a tough hill to climb. It's based on the fact that you know everything, and we need to know 5% of that. Finding that 5% and creating a pitch that is effective for you, connects you to your audience, and leads them through the right way to get them to act. That's what I do. So I'm putting my information in the chat. I'd love to help even just talk to you guys if you're looking for help. And I hope to see you soon. Thank you, Mark.
Thanks, Mike. Up next is Raul, who's our last person to pitch tonight.
Yeah, last but not the least, I hope.
The last and best, apparently, right?
Yeah. My name is Rahul. I built an award-winning AI tech company in India, which I have now exited. And we built basically AI technologies for manufacturing companies to make sure their processes get more efficient. So what the team is right now doing is a couple of things. We are looking at the next big idea which we are working on, where we are actually trying to revolutionize the EV industry by converting existing EV vehicles to existing vehicles to EVs. So that's what we're doing, and we'll be looking to launch commercially in about a couple of months now. In the meanwhile, also, since it's a very talented team I have out here, some of them have actually got Forbes 30 under 30 mentions as well at the Pan-Asia level. So if there are any people, any startup guys who are looking for tech services, we'll be happy to provide that.
Fantastic. Thank you. And I like that that was a short pitch. All right. So just to everybody who's still in the room right now, I just want to say thank you so much. You're all here. You stuck it out this entire time. You're the heroes of the community for being here through the entire process and supporting all of our founders this way. You know, what I'm trying to do here is build the biggest community I can, because I'm 100% convinced the only way we all move these great ideas forward is through introductions to the right people who with one phone call can make that magic happen and get companies moving faster, you know, and I've seen it happen. So this is a networking event, and the more often you come back, the better it'll be for you, I believe. I hope you will continue to come back. If you'll invite your friends, invite others to come. I think it's not competition. I think it just builds our community, makes us stronger, and the more people we can, you know, get in the room every Wednesday night, the better for everybody. So thank you all for hanging in there, even through our breakout room situation. You know, we have great aspirations to try and provide the best ways for you all to meet, and we'll keep trying and we'll experiment. Eventually we'll get it where it's just, you know, a fine-tuned machine. In the meantime, if anybody has any quick thoughts before we break up as to how I can improve the event, or any other thoughts that you might want to just say without getting in the queue and raising hands and being too noisy here.
Mark, yeah, just a real quick question. Maybe if you could create like a WhatsApp group just for all of us to kind of collab and share ideas. Or
I need volunteers. I just don't have the time.
I just want to say about the whole thing that in the beginning, actually, we also started the Discord chat. So probably we can also like use that Discord again. Mark knows about the Discord, so probably we can try on something like
I'm
this.
just
Discord
not a big fan of Discord, but it may be just me. It looks sort of cartoonish. I'm trying, you know, I mean, this is just my opinion. I want us to be like the most professional community, and maybe I'm wrong about Discord, but you know, I could be convinced because I've never really spent any time on it.
You're not alone, Mark. You're not alone.
Okay. I just want, I want us to surround ourselves with the best platforms, the best of everything, because we as a community deserve it. We are the people that start ventures that change the planet. We're the venture starters. And we need this community, and we need the support that goes along with starting all these things that the world needs. So I'm proud to be part of that community. I'm proud to be an investor in that community. And I'm just looking to, you know, accelerate. I want to accelerate the speed at which we bring these things forward in a time where the investors have stepped off the stage. They've moved to the sidelines because their Google stock went down and their Amazon stock went down, and they're all freaked out this year. And I don't know how soon everybody will be back. So I think we need this. Anyways, I don't know about Discord. I didn't mean to take us off on that little tangent. Anybody else have any thoughts?
Keep up the great work, Mark. It was amazing. First time here. I'll be back, and really enjoyed it. You need help, and any way we can help, let us know. But you're going places, and it's just great to be part of the ride. So.
We're all going places. It's only because of all of you coming that this works. I hope to see you all again next Wednesday, or as soon as you're available, your next available Wednesday. And thank you all. Have a great week. And I look forward to seeing you again, hopefully a week from now. Take care, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Long, Mark.
Bye.
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 Thank you. Have a lovely night.
Mark, if you want me to set up a WhatsApp chat for everybody, I will. Let me know.
Let's talk offline about that. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you so much, everybody. I need volunteers. Thank you.
Volunteers should work
Bye-bye.
on creating a list. All the stuff that gets put in the chat would be great I think that would help the most people.
Yeah.
Everybody who has their little blurb in the chat, if that could all end up in an access, like a Google Doc or a link, so that everybody can go through it and look at the links, and that way people can find each other better.
As much as a lot of people don't like Discord, that's what's nice about Discord, is that you can assign different channels all in a centralized place where you can have, contact details, the space based type ventures, and all these different channels. Whereas WhatsApp, you kind of get stuck in one monotonous, or not monotonous, but linear chat. Whereas Discord, you can fractionalize it.
Hello, can you all hear me?
I like it. Yeah, Howard.
I thought we were all ending, and I was clapping because I wanted to say how wonderful it is. Unfortunately, I had to go away for an hour and a half in the middle of this because I had a board meeting I had to be at. So I would like to say that'd be great if these are 3 or 4 hours. Mark, I'm on your calendar, and we'll follow up on your calendar. But I want to say, kind of to protect Mark, to anybody who is left here, I want to say, all these suggestions that there should be something on this platform, and this platform, and this platform, and this platform, it's not just a matter of volunteers to get it going, it's volunteers to keep it going in the long term, and then deal with the N-squared morass of integrational mess that will happen inevitably. So everybody who's telling Mark, oh, do this, please realize that if Mark doesn't do those things, it's really for the best here, because it would create a gigantic mess to have all those disparate, unintegrated side platforms. Just be aware of that.
Well,
And
Howard, the reason why we're planning on talking is I know that you're capable of bringing the tech side to this community, and I'm curious to hear your ideas.
Okay, well, I'm very much looking forward to our conversation, and I just wanted to say that so that the crowd does not overwhelm the cloud, so to speak.
I actually prefer all the feedback, even if we don't use it, because I don't know who's got the best idea. When I'm the smartest guy in the room, I get nervous. I want to be in rooms like this where I'm surrounded by brilliant people, and that's what's exciting. This community is going to become a organic community that grows because all of you pitch in with ideas, your energy, your enthusiasm. That's why we've doubled in size three times since we started this. So
you disappoint me, Mark, is that I thought you were the smartest of everybody.
I'm
now
not,
I know you're way down there at the bottom.
Well, this one thing I learned way down at the bottom was surround myself with people who are smarter than me, and they lift me up. And that's what this community is going to be. We're going to lift everybody up by that philosophy. And John,
okay, look at my email, Mark. I think you
I
like
will.
it.
Yeah, always glad to see you here. Thank you, everybody, for coming again. Thank you. See you next set. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, Mark. All the best. Cheers.